wrestling fans, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite promotions from across the globe, and much, much more. We will also bring you exclusive interviews with the greatest professional wrestling personalities on the local, national, and international levels. If you want to follow the Wrestle Talk Podcast, check us out online at www.wrestletalkpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And now, it's time for the reigning, defending, undisputed leader in pro wrestling podcast, the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to episode 489 of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. We got a very special episode coming your way tonight. It is the Wrestle Maddness 5. If you've been here for our other Wrestle Maddness tournaments, you know what that means. Tonight we're going to be talking about some of the best masked wrestlers in the entire world over the years of professional wrestling. Make sure that you like and interact with us. Share out this podcast. Get y'all ready to go. So I don't do this alone, so I'm going to welcome in one of my favorite people in the entire world. He is the St. Louis wrestling legend, the one and only, my good buddy, Luke Roberts. Luke.
Well, Chris, I got to tell you right now, first of all, just to let you know, that's not going to get you a pay raise at the next company meeting. I'm just going to warn you. But like I said, tonight's going to be a great episode here of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. We're going to be talking Wrestle Maddness 5, and I'm going to level with you, Chris. Tonight's topic is masked wrestlers. Now, a lot of people are going to sit here and they're going to look at the wrestlers they see on television today, but there are a lot of great wrestlers from the years gone by that have really contributed to the world of professional wrestling. We're going to take an opportunity. I know you and I were looking at the brackets here earlier this afternoon, and there are some if you're a fantasy wrestling guy, you're going to have an opportunity here to really kind of see what would happen if you put these two individuals from different time periods and contemporary time periods together, and who do you think would wind up walking away? But you know something? I would be remiss. This is not just a one-man show here tonight. It's myself and yourself, but you know, we're on somebody here in just a minute. We're going to add to the program. Is a man who actually, and I went back and did the research, he has been a part of every Wrestle Maddness, all 5 of them. He has been a part of all 5 Wrestle Maddness. And I'm going to let you know right now, I'm going to go ahead and bring him on because you know him, I know him. We've been broadcast colleagues and friends throughout many, many a year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome into the Wrestle Talk Podcast and our discussion of Wrestle Maddness 5 here tonight. The one and only from Interstate 70 Sports Media, the maestro, Jeremy Karp. Jeremy, how in the world have you been doing, my friend? I know you're ready for the 4th of July festivities, but how are you doing here tonight as we get ready to embark on Wrestle Maddness 5?
Gentlemen, this is true. I have been a part, and I was really reflecting on this with the night out earlier today, that I have been a part of the very first Wrestle Maddness as well as the following 4. And it's crazy. It only seems like yesterday I was in just a little apartment in St. Charles when I did the first Wrestle Maddness. And here we are all the years later. And this is an exciting one. I'm really excited for Wrestle Maddness 5. And honestly, I can only imagine where we go from here.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we got Susie Haas checking in here tonight. You know something, guys? Wrestle Maddness has kind of become a staple here with the Wrestle Talk Podcast. And again, just to give you a heads up as well, Assad, welcome for checking in here tonight. I want to let you know, too, again, as a reminder, Chris, you said 489 is the episode we're at right now. We're only 11 episodes away from that magic number of 500. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a great show. Tonight, it's going to be a great show each and every week, all the way to episode 500. As a matter of fact, make it a point. Hashtag Let's Talk Wrestling. Hashtag WTP. Hashtag Wrestle Maddness 5. However you want to go about it, make sure to share our program. Make sure to share those hashtags, because not only we have that opportunity to know that you're watching and you're sharing our show, but also to make it a point we know where everybody's seeing the Wrestle Talk podcast. Also, a reminder, make sure to share those stars. I believe we still have those available. It helps to give more to the program as well. And as a matter of fact, right here on the screen, Wrestle Maddness 5. Speaking of which, when you want to talk about wrestling, you want to talk about a little bit of the wild and crazy time, you got to talk about our good friend, a man who has helped the Wrestle Talk podcast go to the next level most recently. And I'm going to go ahead and welcome him in here to the program because, a matter of fact, this man right here will know in a matter of hours if he will continue the tradition of Wrestle Talk podcast being at MLW. I believe it's Blood and Thunder, which will be taking place in Tampa. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in here the one, the only, the man who called Jeremy Lightfoot Jeremy Lightweight, the one and only Gabriel Arcine.
That hurts.
You're muted. There you go.
And he's still muted.
And we can't hear you. So
yeah, he's not even muted.
Well, while he's trying to figure out why his microphone's not working, I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Lightfoot and Doc Lombardi, who were announced already to be inductees of the 2025 Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. All right, Gabriel,
now
you're good to go.
My mic
once again, well, we'll give you an idea. Once again, the man who called Jeremy Lightfoot Jeremy Lightweight and lived to tell the tale.
See, that's see, I'm trying to get stuck with the name Young Lion with the Old Soul, but I've been in Wrestle Talk podcast long enough that that's going to be my moniker. But it's a pleasure to be here tonight, gentlemen. Road Dogg, haven't been on the show with you in a while. Skywalker, always a pleasure to see you here, man. And hopefully we can get Cart back onto the show here, man. But if I'm going to be known as the man who called Jeremy Lightfoot Jeremy Lightweight and lived to tell the tale, at least we know we won't live Jeremy Carp live down Goldberg, or excuse me,
Gilbert. and I believe that was wasn't that a Wrestle Maddness that happened? If I'm
wait
not
a minute, no, wait. I heard the name. I heard the name. You little, you know what? Yes, it was Wrestle.
I'm innocent this time. 100% innocent.
Madness 4, I believe. For the greatest cruiserweight or light heavyweight wrestler.
Funnily enough, I think that was not my tech. I wasn't there at the beginning, but that was my first ever Wrestle Maddness here in Wrestle Talk podcast. So,
well, you know something, guys? We've got a lot of great wrestling to talk about here tonight. And again, I'm going to kind of take in just a minute here. I'm going to kind of take the role of our MC for the evening.
Well, you know,
before we do, and Chris, I know for a fact that he's been waiting, he's been stomping, he's been yelling, he's been screaming, he's fired up about Wrestle Maddness. He has been fired up for quite a while. So at this point, let's go ahead and welcome in. And we got to give him his introduction, because if we don't, you know that's only going to further fuel him. So let's go ahead and give him his introduction as customary here on the program.
Who? Because we got two people backstage.
We got two people backstage?
Yeah.
I was thinking about the one that I was thinking about the one that signs our checks.
No. We're gonna bring him on.
I think at the behest of the man who signs the checks, we do have a special surprise here to unite folks, because it's not just me. It's not just Skywalker.
Luke doesn't have access. So let's welcome back to the Wrestle Talk podcast our correspondent up in the Northwest.
Hello.
Hey!
Can
we get a chant here up and just a round of applause?
Oh wait,
Jay Wade. Oh man.
Oh, Jay Wade.
You're Skype for sore eyes, man.
Oh.
Well, you know something, Wade? Since we've been doing great, but just to give you an idea, I think you were here the last time. You know the Maestro and his whole Gilbert episode.
And we know, and I've heard about Gabriel, and let's talk about you announcing the NWA heavyweight title match back in Edwardsville, Illinois.
Oh, are we talking about Osaka or
Kahagas, the Toyota
from Toyota, Japan?
monster.
From Toyota, Japan. Good job.
Yeah.
Hey, don't go there, Rodell. Remember, you talked about Hollywood, Florida instead of Hollywood, California.
I did.
I bet there's a province in Florida called Hollywood.
There's a province?
We're not helping our reputation, guys. We don't know simple geography. I'm telling you.
Well, you know, gentlemen, we've got a great show lined up here tonight. And again, having Justin Wade on the program is just going to add another layer of knowledge and information in the world of professional wrestling. Now that our best bud from the West Coast is here, from the Pacific Northwest, we've got the Southeast, we've got the Midwest covered. Now it's time to bring on the man who signs the checks, the man who puts this together each and every week, the man, the myth, as I quote with the one Nightmare Joe Lance, the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, the Night Owl, Renee Martinez.
Hey, guess who's back? Let me get a single screen. Can I get a single? Can I get a single?
He's asking for a single screen, fellows.
Somebody single screen me, damn it! Hey.
What are you doing?
Christ Almighty.
What is this? What is it? Please don't call it dancing, because that's not what this is.
Don't respect what
We vibing.
Y'all wouldn't know. That is something that only somebody from a championship city and state would understand. You see, I didn't want to bring this up, but I heard all the roasting, and I said, you know what? A lot of Blues fans in this room had to watch my Florida Panthers win the carp. A lot of angry Blues fans in this room had to watch my Florida Panthers. They're in Deerfield. That's where I'm from. Y'all know that. Win their very first ever Stanley Cup. Read it in wheat, fellas. The name going on the old Stanley is gonna be the good old 2023/24 Florida Panthers. You're welcome. And Canada, I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something.
Came in second.
Leave it to the Mexican to rub it in Canada's face.
Wow.
But second, I am happy for Tarasenko and Kachuk. But I'm hoping
the entire organization, bro. We've been dry for 25 years.
I'm not going to make a comment on that one. But anyway, point notwithstanding.
Oh, my.
I just want to know who pulled what strings to get Jay Wade here. This is what I was waiting for, bro. Now,
I thought you're.
Well, you guys said he was the one that makes the checks. For me to be on here, mine bounced actually. So I'm. Renee,
I thought you said you wanted to be paid in EBT coupons, bro. That's EBT, what you told me last time.
I've never been able to get on EBT. They say it makes too much.
You just need one of these, bro. They'll put you to the front of the line. You just walk in like this. You just tell them they not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
The last time somebody told me everything was going to be okay in production, it was Brad Siegel.
Oh shit! You need to relax.
You know, we're only 15 minutes into the show. We haven't even started Wrestle Madness yet. And the shots have been flying here all afternoon and evening. Well, you know something, guys? Before we get too much farther along, we do need to go ahead.
Walker, before we get into business, I want to encourage everybody. I don't know if we've hit the sponsors yet or not, but I just want to encourage everybody. Today, about halfway through the show, I've got something very special planned. Nobody on this broadcast knows about this besides me. And I know you guys didn't expect Wade. That was surprise number one. Go ahead, buddy.
No, that's one. We're counting the surprises.
Right. And then, yes. And then, but during tonight's intermission, or right around that time, I have an announcement that is going to shake. Listen to what I'm saying to you. It is going to shake the foundation of professional wrestling history, as we know it. And I don't just mean in Kansas City and St. Louis. I'm talking about the history books of professional wrestling, guys.
Triple H bought AEW?
I'm not allowed to talk about that yet. I'm not allowed to talk about that. No, but trust me.
It's all in the cards, Jeremy Carp.
You never know, baby. You never know. So my point is this. The show's going to be a lot of fun, but you want to make sure that you tune in through the entirety of the show, not only because you want to experience Wrestle Maddness 5, which is going to be incredible, but I have some news that I repeat will shake the foundation and directly affect the history books of professional wrestling as we know it. Now, Carp's eyes are getting all big, and he knows when I start talking shit that something big is going to happen. So make sure you guys are paying attention, because about halfway through tonight's show, something incredible is going to happen, and you do not want to miss it. That said, Skywalker, do your thing, baby.
All right. Well, now, since we were talking about that earlier on, let's go ahead and talk about the great sponsors who help bring us all these great surprises. We talk about Royal Mills Transportation in Kansas City. If you need transportation, make it a point to check out our good friend, the one, the only, the CEO, Dewan Mills. Nobleman's Barber Lounge, Kansas City. If you want a great haircut, make it a point to check them out. Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall. Of course, we'd be remiss without Interstate 70 Sports Media. Little Popeye Designs, home of those great Wrestle Talk podcast tumblers. If you'd like to get one, make it a point to get in contact with all of us here at the Wrestle Talk podcast and the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group. And gentlemen, as we talk about all of our great sponsors here, and we get ever so close, ever so much closer to episode 500. I know I've talked with the Night Owl, I've talked in our production meetings, and I'm going to level with you guys. Some big things are going to be happening as it relates to episode 500. You want to make sure that you keep in communication, you keep watching all those great forms of social media, because that's where you're going to find out all the newest and latest, greatest information about the Wrestle Talk podcast. Now, at this point in time, Chris, we got one more piece of business to take care of. I know you get everything taken care of every week. So if you would be so kind, because it's time for what we do each and every week, I believe if you don't, the Night Owl has it right over there above his shoulder.
It's time. It's the 4th of July week. Of course we're gonna do this. I mean,
y'all, did y'all miss this? Did y'all miss the headgear, man?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
Hey, not like
so, all right, well, Chris, let's go ahead and get our little bit of business taken care of here, so we can move on to Wrestle Maddness.
I just want to say Renee is on one today. It seems like. So.
Oh, you just ain't hosting with me for a while. Anybody who's been hosting with me the last couple of months, bro, I've been extra for months now. I just missed you, Rodell. Wade is here. Rodell is here. I mean, we got the whole team. How do you expect me to feel? I missed you, motherfucker, right?
I can attest to that, as I was on the show with him last, and
yes,
he's been at 100 this whole time.
On King David.
So it's time. Is it time to Renee? You want to bring on? You want to do the national anthem?
Of course, man. Hold up. Let me just do the most American thing possible.
Bring it on, or is he singing it? Because I think we might have a drop in viewership if Renee decides to start singing the old and beautiful here in the United States of A. But
I'll do the intro. I love it. Can I get a single screen? Let's go, baby. I'm ready.
Where are you?
The fat one.
There you go.
There we go.
Which one?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Carp. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is both an honor and the pleasure to welcome you guys all in to Wrestle Maddness 5. With that said, we have a couple of traditions here that we like to honor. So we're going to ask everybody to respectfully remove your caps, place your hands over your hearts as we pay homage to the greatest country on God's green earth right before the 4th. That's right, the 4th of July. We need Grodell. Right before the 4th of July. Ladies and gentlemen, we honor the greatest country on God's green earth. That's America, baby. Hit the music.
Oh,
Should all be ashamed of yourselves.
Tear in your eye, blood in your ear. I guess it's all the same. I know that Jay Wade has missed that probably. I know Carton loves it every time. I feel Carp is going to have a stroke every time he hears that. So
I'd rather have an infected prostate than listen to that.
Oh my.
Here's what I want to know. Out of everybody on this broadcast, I'm actually the only adopted American, and I don't see any of you guys as excited for the national anthem as me. All of you were born in the greatest country on God's green earth. Okay, well, Gabe, I'll give you that.
I wasn't born
It's
here.
the only American thing
All
I
right,
got.
where were you born, Carp? Where were you
I
born?
was born in the country of Georgia.
Oh, okay. I thought you were born in the States. My bad.
Nope.
I'm disappointed in the rest of you Americans. What the hell is wrong with y'all, baby?
When you have that hog of a woman singing that song, I won't be.
Hey, you know what? It's
honoring
only
that.
it's only slightly better than the Carl Lewis version we used to use.
Then we got flagged.
Then we got
Yeah,
flagged.
that is
I
true.
actually
That is
got a
true.
kick out of that one. I mean, it was
Unpack
bad.
They get
There's something
worse
funny
than
about it.
that.
Where's the bullshit? Where's the Iron Sheik for that? For us getting that shit banned?
Bullshit.
Got
Oh,
me.
okay. They got us.
Got me.
Damn you, copyright, you bastard.
Oh, all right. Well,
Skywalker, get us
gentlemen,
back on
Hang
track,
on,
please.
Shiki, what do we think
All
about
right.
copyright infringement?
We did. Oh, shit. Oh,
all right. We've got all the business taken care of here. And again, remember, make it a point to share the Wrestle Talk podcast, because not only you're going to get a great show tonight, but you're also going to get a lot of great discussion about the world of professional wrestling as it relates to masked wrestlers. Now, for those of you that haven't taken part in Wrestle Madness, allow me to explain what's going to go on here. In just a few moments, we're going to go ahead and we're going to discuss two individuals, in this case, two masked wrestlers. And basically what we will do is we will look at all of their accomplishments, all they bring to the table, and then we will make a decision, much like in fantasy sports, as to who would go on to the next round of our Wrestle Madness tournament. Now, in the case of this tournament, each of our 5 hosts, and again, since we have 5, we're not going to have a tiebreaker this time, which is good. So here's what's up. Each of the 5 hosts will have 1 golden ticket, which means they can automatically move someone on to the next round. However, that golden ticket can be canceled out if someone else chooses to use their golden ticket as well. For example, let's say that Jeremy Karp, the maestro, uses his golden ticket for Gilbert. And the Night Owl decides in that match we have Gilbert versus, let's say, a Bret Hart.
Anybody better than Gilbert?
The Night Owl could go ahead and say, well, I want to use my golden ticket for Bret Hart, and it would cancel the 2 of them out. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and roll through this. Rodell, are you ready?
Sure.
Maestro.
Can't afford not to be.
Night Owl.
Okay, USA.
Jay Wade.
Yes, and this fits you perfectly because you should be wearing a mask every day in life.
Oh, thank you. And of course, the man who I think we should be calling him Gabriel Lightweight.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Hang on. Wait. 2 things. 2 quick pieces of business. Number 1, Skywalker, are you ready?
I'm ready because we got, and see, this time we were actually able to up the production value here a little bit. We actually have graphics for the individuals before we have our discussion.
Okay, but
So now we should be able to know everything of what's going on. So tell you what, let's go ahead and throw things back. David, thank you for joining us here tonight as part of Wrestle Madness 5. Let's go ahead and throw the first wrestler up here on the screen. And it starts off with a bombshell of Ray Phoenix. Now, as you look here, a lot of championships held throughout the wrestling world: AEW, AAA, Impact Wrestling, Lucha Underground, MLW, Ring of Honor, PWG. And his opponent in round number 1 is Ultimo Dragon, a man known as a former J Crown champion. I mean, the list of accomplishments for both of these men is quite long. And I'm a level with you guys. I want to see where everybody's opinion is here on these two wrestlers. If we had a fantasy matchup between these two, who would move on to the next round? And we're going to start off here with Jay Wade.
Ultimo Dragon without a heartbeat. Phoenix, I've only known since he's been in WWE. Ultimo Dragon was a former television champion. That's where I knew him best. He defeated guys like Finlay, Regal. He's taken on Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero. He's embarrassed Rey Mysterio on a couple of WCW pay-per-views back in Mysterio's prime. Rey Fenix, I don't have any accolades that stick out to me, so it's going to be Ultimo Dragon all day.
All righty, let's move on to Gabriel Arsene.
I just want to touch on this because I'm just building off of what Jay Wade said, and that is that if anybody in this room or in the audience right now thinks that Rey Fenix stands any iota of a chance of beating Ultimo Dragon, it's a wrap. I'm sorry. I just not even covering all the championships and the fact that this man is the innovator of Michinoku Pro Wrestling. But when we talk about accomplishments for a junior heavyweight, this man is the reason why they said, "Oh, you don't think we can get a 205 pound guy to sell out a main event? Watch us. We're gonna have 8 of them do it." The J Crown is one of the most prestigious events, not just in junior heavyweight wrestling, but in wrestling, period. When anytime everybody talks about, Kenny Omega with the belt collector, or, Kurt Angle when he won all the belts in TNA, you want to talk about the original man dripping in gold? It was that photo of Ultimo Dragon. 9 belts. Nobody is fucking with it. Sorry, I had to drop the first one on the show tonight.
Does anybody remember Sonny Ono?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sonny Ono, longtime member of the Wrestle Talk podcast family. So you hear Ultimo Dragon, automatically that's one of the people that comes to my mind just because all the WCW stuff. But I know it's not my turn. Sorry.
All right. Well, Night Owl, since you want to jump in here and you talk about Ultimo Dragon, you talk about Sonny Ono, let's throw it to you, my friend.
You're going to be mad at me, Skywalker. You're going to be real mad at me. Okay, here's what I'll say. I think that comparing somebody whose career is actively ongoing to somebody who has been long retired is a little disingenuous. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I think if you're going to put a Rey Fenix on there, maybe you put him against someone that's still active, because we don't know where Rey Fenix's career is going to end. He is a Lucha Underground heavyweight champion. He's a 3-time AEW World Tag Team Champion, 1-time AEW Trios Champion, also AEW International Champion, AAA Mundial Champion 3 different times. So he is very early into his career. I believe he's only 26. Somebody can maybe look that up and correct me. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I think he's the younger of him and Cero Miedo Pentagon Jr., okay? I would almost prefer to make the comparison. Say Rey Fenix has been in the business 10 years. Let's look at his first 10 years compared to Ultimo Dragon's first 10 years. And if you say that, I think with the first 10 years of their career, Rey Fenix has accomplished more. Physically, as far as his abilities in the ring, just watch a match. Rey Fenix more physically talented than Ultimo Dragon ever was. Now, completely different eras. Ultimo Dragon wasn't being asked to do, 360 moonsaults to the outside off the top rope, right? I understand that, but I only say this, and I'll make my selection. I think, is LeBron James better than Michael Jordan? Some people would say yes. I would say let's wait and see until LeBron's career is over, and then we can have the conversation, because LeBron's career is not over. So I think it's a little unfair to put somebody who's in the middle of their career versus somebody who was in the career. Ultimo Dragon has a 20-year advantage of work over Rey Fenix. So if we were measuring the first 10 years of their careers, because I think Rey's been wrestling for about 10 years, I would say I would give it to Rey. But because that's not the rules that we're operating under, gentlemen, of course, the answer is El Último Dragón. There's no way around it. But for the next Wrestle Madness, I would suggest, Skywalker, to the board, that we try to put people against each other that are basically in the same place of their career, because I think we can all agree measuring someone that's retired with 30 years in the game versus somebody that's still active with only 10 years in the game, a little unfair.
Well, before you go too far, Night Owl, I got not one but two for you.
Okay, go.
Number one, you said 26.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I said correct.
Well, no. This is one that's gonna mess with you. Ray Phoenix, 33.
Does not wrestle like it.
No, not at all.
Number two.
Like he's 20,
okay, go ahead.
and he's got nothing to lose.
Oh, he's got another 20 years. Then.
Number two. And I actually have this. And Ben Trust, you know what? We're not even going to bother with Ben Trust right now.
I got something to say to Ben Trust. I got one thing to say to Ben Trust. Ben Trust, I try not to make it personal with people, but I got a question for you, my friend.
You did a terrible job of that.
Okay, well, listen, that's their fault. That's a personal problem. Here's what I'm gonna say. Number one, I wear this flag way better than you. And my second question is, am I being detained? Am I being detained? Anyway, go ahead. Move right along.
Jesus.
We don't know what that means.
Okay, here's the other info.
Friendly man.
It says right now
You talking shit.
that Ray Phoenix has been wrestling for 13 years. But, and it's unconfirmed, that you can go back and document that he actually started wrestling, and I'm going to do some research while we're going on. Had his first match in the year 2005. Don't know how much truth is to that. We're going to have to look at that as we go along. So, moving right along here on our list, let's go ahead and go to the Maestro.
Okay, so this is my thing. When it comes to Ray Phoenix, he's a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal wrestler, performer, and he has a lot of accolades that we showcased earlier. But for more reasons than one, the Ultimo Dragon is by far the better of the two. Because, all right, I want to put it to you this way. You know what? I will say Ray Phoenix, when I look at Ray Phoenix, he is perfect for the what if match category. He's the type of guy that you'd put in the what if he faced Jushin Thunder Liger or Eddie Guerrero. You know, a lot of the guys, Dean Malenko, people that don't wrestle anymore or are sadly deceased. But Ultimo Dragon faced them. We saw Ultimo Dragon take on Jushin Thunder Liger. We saw him take on Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko, you know, and Billy Kidman. I mean, and a lot of the greats. But to me, the number one thing that I love most about Ultimo Dragon is his uncanny ability to mix the Lucha Libre style with the Japanese style. That is, to me, what makes Ultimo Dragon above not just Ray Phoenix, but potentially a big sleeper on this whole tournament. I'll have to see the names when we get through them, but don't sleep on Ultimo Dragon. He is one of the most unsung heroes in Lucha Libre wrestling, and he's very widely respected in Japanese wrestling lore.
All right, you heard it from the Maestro, Rodell. You're our final vote here.
Oh, it's Ultimo Dragon, and it's not even to me. I would love to see the match if Ultimo Dragon is prime against Ray Phoenix right now. I think that would be a banger of a match. But yeah, it's Ultimo Dragon.
Open.
All right. Before we go on, I have to ask: does anybody here want to use their golden ticket?
Ray Phoenix, I love you. I don't like you that much, though.
All right, the decision's made. Ultimo Dragon will be moving on.
Ben Trust wants to know if he gets a golden ticket.
I don't want to go there. Let's move on. And Night Owl, this next matchup, I think, has a lot of the same things that you were talking about in the previous matchup. Our first competitor is Hayabusa.
Ooh.
Taking on his opponent in the first round, El Santo. So at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and throw this. We're going to start this one out with, let's go with the Night Owl.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. El Santo is not only, by my estimation, the greatest Mexican-born luchador in the history of professional wrestling. Yes, that includes Rey Mysterio because he was born in San Diego. Let's be clear. Okay. He also, what are you laughing at, Rodell? It's facts, baby.
It is, dude. That's what 619 is. That's his area code.
I know that. I just find it funny that you're like,
I know you know that. I'm telling anybody who doesn't know that.
No, that's fine. I love it. Give me shit. Give me mo. I mean, it's obvious, guys. El Santo, the greatest Mexican-born luchador in history. Also, very few people know this. Also, one of the most successful actors in Mexican history. Him and Blue Demon Sr. I was actually just watching. Yes, El Santo did fight Superman. Very, very true. Him and Blue Demon Sr. I was actually watching a movie featuring both of them just yesterday. And those are all free, guys. You can find them all over the place. But yeah, there's no question that El Santo is the GOAT Mexican-born wrestler. And quite frankly, probably the coolest mask ever, just the straight silver all the way across, man. There's very few masks that are more iconic than El Santo's mask, man. I love El Santo. I would probably pick him over anybody in the entire lineup. But at least for this matchup, it's an easy one for me. I'm going to go with El Santo.
All right, Jay Wade, to you, my friend.
El Santo. From what I know of, I can't pronounce his name.
Hayabusa.
Hayabusa. He was known for his more violent matches, but after the El Santo and what he's done in the sport, I'm going to have to give it to him.
Okay, Arsene.
I wanted to save it for the actual conversation because I wanted to add it when I was talking to Renee, but I realized I was like, you know what? I have my slot. I got to wait for it. But I can tell just because I'm just as excited to talk about this because this really is the parallel to the last match, folks, because we talk about a generational talent like Rey Fenix where we're like, that's some good ass lucha. And we compare it and we say, but boy, we'd like to see that match, right? What's so jarring about this is that this is almost these are very classic luchadors. Like when you think about Hayabusa's career, it was in the 90s, you know, and that's a long time ago now. Like it's okay to admit.
Oh, easy.
We're talking about El Santo, dog. Don't be scared of time marching forward. All right.
Well, yeah, and take a step back.
I love it.
But when I think about a career that got cut short, when I think about the what if of a wrestling talent, because yes, he was known for the hardcore stuff, but it was the heart behind it. You know, that Atsushi Onita vibe that was all about FMW. And then the fact that he was the high flyer that they said, you know what, we're not going to go in that hardcore style anymore, but this dude is enough to build a company. And then it just gone. And we think about, God, what would happen if this man had an opportunity? And you think about Hayabusa. God. But then you go into El Santo.
Man.
That was only like 10 years ago, kid. Shut up.
No, it's not, bro. 10 years ago was 2014.
Thank you. See? I'm just saying.
That trust is out of line.
Like I know, you know something. Hold on. To quote a line from Adam Sandler, we have the microphone and you don't. So that means
to quote a line from an Adam Sandler movie, that has to be the most nonsensical nonsense that I've ever heard in my life, and everybody's life in this conference room is now worse from having heard your nonsense, Benjamin Strauss. So apparently you are a movie star as well, because come to find out you were also Shrek's sidekick in the Shrek movie.
Oh. All right, now we're gonna go back to Arsene here. Arsene, you've given your thoughts, you've given your input. Who do you pick?
Quite simply, Lucha Libre would be not the crazy amalgamation superhero nonsense that it would be today if it wasn't built off of the back of the original Titans. And to me, when you talk about legacy and impact, it's El Santo. Throwing it to you.
All right, we'll move on to our good buddy, the Maestro.
Okay, so Night Out, I feel like you especially would appreciate what I'm about to say.
Go ahead.
You are a religious man, deep faith, deep love. There is only one God. But if there wasn't El Santo could very well be up there
on King David
because what we watched today, if there was no El Santo, we wouldn't be watching it today. To me, him and Blue Demon are the two greatest of the greats. Blue Demon Senior, I might add. And I think it's going to make for a very tough time if these two face at any point in this tournament. But without a shadow of a doubt, my vote is El Santo.
All right, Rodell, you're the final vote on this one.
I'm going to agree with everybody with the El Santo pick because just for the simple fact that, I mean, he made, like you said, one, his mask is iconic. It's like you still see it. You still see it to this day. So
there's statues of him and everything.
Dog, they reference him in Coco. Like, this dude has Disney pull. Like, 40 years after he died.
Cool.
He was also a part of a WrestleMania for the people don't know that.
All right, well, gentlemen, I have to ask: does anybody want to use their golden ticket, even though it's 5-0? All right, at this
I have a
point,
question, Skywalker. I know we're trying to stay relatively within time today. Are we on pace, or do we need to speed it up at all?
I think we're okay for now because, like I said, it's not a traditional 64; it's a 32. Okay. Let's move on here. This is going to be one that really intrigues me, and the reason why is because of the idea that these next two competitors bring two completely different styles, like two completely different points of view in the same conversation from Ben Trust. So we have on one hand the great Sasuke, and on the other side of the coin, Abyss.
Oh, God.
Gentlemen, your thoughts? We're going to go ahead and start with Rodell.
I like Abyss.
Me too, man.
I like Abyss. I think he's probably one of the best big men in this tournament. However, you don't beat the great Sasuke. God, I can't talk today. Is going to take it for me because I he's one of the very few that I've had circled when I was going through the brackets, and I'm like that was a no-brainer on that one. So great Sasuke.
All right. Well, let's move on then to the Maestro.
This is tougher on not so much on paper, but kind of just more on an emotional level because as a kid growing up watching wrestling, Abyss, when I would watch TNA Impact, he was one of the more notable faces that you would see, which is ironic given the fact he wore a mask. But I consider him within the top 5 greatest wrestlers in TNA/Impact wrestling history. That said, the great Sasuke, I mean, I think he speaks for himself. And the legend, a lot of things, when I look at these lists and the wrestlers that we're going to be going to profile, a lot of it comes down to legend, to lore, and to impact, not just title accolades. I mean, Sasuke was most known for his intolerance to pain, or his high pain tolerance, I should say. He's had a cracked skull twice and went back out the next night and wrestled. I mean, come on, guys. This is the type of stuff that puts people on the shelf for weeks, if not longer. He is a legislator. He's the founder of MPW. I mean, he expands more than beyond his in-ring skill. So the great Sasuke is my vote.
All right, we got another vote for great Sasuke. Let's go ahead and go on to Jay Wade.
Man, whenever I look at Abyss, I just see a knockoff of Foley and Kane put together. With Sasuke and what he's done, the speed game is going to have to come into play against Abyss. If he can, with his innovation of speed and aerial assault that we saw when he took on Taka Michinoku back when McMahon was trying to get the lightweight division on top when the cruiserweight division was killing over in WCW. Those matches with Taka Michinoku look like a car wreck in a good way. If he can do the speed and aerial against Abyss and counter with the violence, I say Sasuke. But then again, if Abyss pulls out that black hole slam on Thumbtacks, it's all over. So coin toss, I'm going to give it to Abyss.
Wow. Honestly, Jay Wade, I was not expecting that from you, but again, I totally agree with what you were talking about in the idea of the more of the hardcore influence. Let's move on to our scene.
All right, so I gotta touch on 2 points that my 2 co-hosts got before me.
Pause.
And then
Go ahead.
Oh, you gotta get your drink ready.
No, you said you got to touch on 2 points. I don't know what you were talking about. That's why I said pause. Go ahead.
So, Jeremy, I know he may not look it, but I'm pretty sure Sasuke has actual MMA training. If I'm remembering correctly, I have to look it back up. But when I think about like one of the hardest dudes who ever shot in wrestling, and I know we know that's an industry term, but like we all know what it means when a man has to shoot at another man. Just look up the Great Sasuke versus the Dirt Bike Kid.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to wear a mask during his tournament, and Great Sasuke said, "Okay, you can do that, and I can kick your ass." And he would not stop kicking him. And that's no disrespect to Abyss, but I feel like he's the kind of guy where he looks scary on TV, but you can, he's the kind of guy you can hug in the locker room. He's a big teddy bear, and I'm probably saying that knowing that this man could, skin me like a rug, but
Sasuke,
like a rug. You mean like a bear? Skin you like a bear?
yes.
Wow.
I don't know what I meant by a rug. I'm weird.
Alright.
I'm a dick. I just called you.
But with Jeremy, you want to talk about lore and wrestling. And this is just something I want to throw out here because I'm a huge weeb and I like Japanese stuff, right? Sasuke wears an outfit and it holds this little symbol, and it's a reference to a character I love called Kamen Rider Black. And you want to talk about like a Japanese superhero turned wrestler in terms of movement, because it's a very Power Rangers-esque show. There's lots of martial arts. And a dude who could just do that. Like, I love seeing him do the Hayabusa special. It's insane, the one where he jumps outside. But this character is supposed to be like a god, essentially fighting another god for the chance to be the next creation king. And I'm like, this dude's like, yeah, I'm going to wear that symbol. I'm all about it. That's it. Because I'm built different. So I'm being a huge dork about it. I got to throw it to the great.
Gabe, your nerd is showing.
Do you see my
moving right along? Night Owl, let's finish this topic off here. Great Sasuke versus Abyss.
You're muted, Renee.
He's taking care of some technical things here.
I'll take care of some business here, boys. I'm
This is my reading material, Road
I love it.
Sorry, Renee.
Let me see that. No, it's sick. No, you're good. You're good. By the way, I cannot get over the fact that all 6 of us are here. The fact that you're here, Jay Wade and Road Dogg, I know it's been a while, bro. Like, I love you guys. I miss you guys.
Making me itch to get back in the ring.
Carp, you're here all the time. Shut up. This ain't
No. Wait, this is a serious emotional point. I mean,
go.
Okay, I want you guys to notice something. You're talking about all 6 of us are here.
Yeah.
Make it 7.
No, not yet. We'll get there. Not too quick.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay. We gotta pace ourselves here.
Yeah. We'll get there. We got it time, bro. We got it time.
Okay. But, Night Owl, your thoughts.
Couple different things. Number one, I saw a comment that kind of got overlooked. Maybe Wrestle Maddness 6, we talk about the greatest referees. Just maybe write that down. That would be something interesting.
Would you
guys? Yes.
Okay, hardcore would be dope. But would you guys be interested in?
I'd be down with referees.
I'm down with refs.
If we can tie that into a guest that is a referee, I think that's something we could
Bro,
talk.
you're talking.
Me, Rodell. Thank you.
You've got 2 on screen right here. So
right
Where? And
you got Jim Harris on the bottom of the screen, so that's 3.
Yeah, a little biased. The second thing I wanted to say, I love how Jay Wade brought up Taka Michinoku. I think Taka Michinoku was such an innovator, and so many different people use the Michinoku driver, and he doesn't get the credit for it. I know we already did cruiserweights and stuff, but Taka Michinoku, anytime that he comes up, there's no doubt about it. I think he's still working not New Japan.
Yeah,
but
he's part of Just Five Guys.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. All right. So yeah, Tonka Michinoku, anytime he comes up, I always love to give props because I thought he was so good. Even back to the choppy, you guys remember that? choppy, yo, baby.
Renee, I gotta throw this back to the last show because I gotta put you on blast because it's a special event. But you talk about Liv Morgan being trashy. You don't want to see her getting hoed on, but that's the kind of shit you like in wrestling?
No, I didn't say I liked it. I just said
we liked it. That was fun.
I don't want to see nobody get choppy, bro. Especially
me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to put you like that.
I'm just
like, really? I hope you don't like that kind of shit in wrestling. It's garbage.
Not too much. But I will say that for the Val Venus
90s
character,
I miss. No.
Wait a minute. Well, yeah, me too, a little bit. But because of the Val Venus character, that was very fitting. You know what's worse than that? Mark Henry made
justify the means.
Yeah, of course. Okay, now
you know what's worse than all that? Sean Morley is a real person.
Oh, jeez. What is wrong with you? Yeah, that boy is out of his damn mind. Do not follow him on social media. I highly advise you against it. Okay, you asked me a question, right, Skywalker?
Mm-hmm.
Morgan is trash. Okay,
she's dirty girl trash.
Here's one other thing. Do we not have graphics for these guys? I thought we had graphics for everybody.
We did. They were shown.
Can I see it one more time? No. We've been on this topic for 45 minutes. I need to see the graphics one more time. Is that wrong? Okay, thank you. One more. Whoa, that was fast.
Other J Crown winner. Just got to throw that out there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not going to dog on anybody for anything, but if your biggest accomplishment is TNA, that ain't it, dog. That ain't it. I'm going to save everybody some time. Y'all know who I'm going with, bro. And by the way, shame on you, Gabriel Addison. You try to call me out, bro. You're supposed to be the anime guy. So why didn't you say the great Sasuke-kun? How come you didn't say it like that?
Because I'm not that much of a weeb, dog.
I am, bro. I don't give a shit. Sasuke-kun.
I'm into Guilty Gear. You gotta use crazy English.
Well, I'm a Naruto guy, so Sasuke-kun.
Okay, now we're going to move back to the world of professional wrestling here. And Jay Wade, we're going to start with you on this one because this is going to be one of those that's going to have a lot of I think it's going to have a lot of discussion. Our last two of the first of this part of the first round are Tiger Mask, and just to let you know, we are going to take into consideration all 5 generations of Tiger Mask, the character as a whole, taking on Kane.
Oh no.
Jay Wade, your thoughts?
Wait a minute. Wait just a minute, Wade. You of all people is going to appreciate this more than anything. I said that halfway through the show, something special was going to happen. And Wade, you're going to want to freaking hug me after this. So forgive me for interrupting. But we've got a couple of people waiting in the background that I'm going to bring them all on, because I think they all deserve to be here for this tremendous announcement. Do you guys mind if I interrupt just for a moment, give you guys a little extra time to think about it so we can get into this huge announcement? Is everybody okay with that?
Gotcha.
Awesome. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, first, I'll do these very quick introductions based on who arrived first. First and foremost, the creator, the originator, the CEO of the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, also a member of our developmental department, if you can believe it, the one and only, the CEO, Dewan Mills. Welcome, sir.
You forgot the boss too, baby. What's poppin'?
I said you're the CEO. It's the same.
He's still in the Fed?
Yeah, he's in the Fed. Poor guy. Oh, little guy. It's okay.
And side note, Arsene, it's a shame you didn't mention Hisoka or Illumi. Come on, dog. Give me some. If you don't talk about some anime, talk about some bad motherfuckers.
You didn't message the pervy sage either. That's what's wrong with you. Yeah, that's wrong.
Putting my guys up. Yes, I'm a hunter narc. It is what it is.
You need to start watching some actual 90s anime.
Yeah,
oh, God, here we go. We can't do this. We can't do this.
Yeah,
we can't do this. But we're going to take up a whole nother hour and a half.
Exactly. Let's move on.
You want to do another podcast?
Right.
Okay. Next person up, ladies and gentlemen, this is my mentor. This is my big brother. He is also the resident chaplain of the Wrestle Talk podcast, also the host of Snippets of Truth, found here every single week on the Wrestle Talk podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Tennessee, you dig me? The one and only Big Daddy P. All right, they're loving it. They're loving it in the Wrestle Talk podcast family. They're loving all these beautiful faces. And there's one other person that I'm going to bring on because he's been a dear friend of mine. He's a dear friend of all of yours. He heard that Wrestle Maddness was going on, and he wanted to come on and just thank us, I think, for everything that we've done for professional wrestling in the Midwest. I think he had a little bit of an announcement he wanted to make. I'm sure we'll be talking about next year, whatever it may be, for 2025. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. One of my favorite guests of all time, also a man that's going to be doing some big things moving forward. I think you guys will be interested to hear it. The one and only big time Jimmy Harris.
What's up, fellas? How you all doing?
Jimbo. All right, guys. So I brought you all here for a reason, Jimmy. Before I get into this thing, I just want to thank you for being here. Perry, thank you. Dewan, thank you. Wade, thank you. Rodell, thank you. I know you guys aren't here every week. Well, Perry and Dewan are for their segments, but for you guys to be here for this super duper incredible moment, I just want to thank you guys in particular for making time today to be here, because we have a little bit of what these fine folks here call a special announcement. Now, is it going to bother anybody if I go in a single screen?
No.
All right, so allow me to do that, and I will take it from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the Wrestle Talk podcast has been around for nearly 500 episodes, and it is a rare occasion when we get the opportunity to make history. Not only history in the Midwest, not only history for the Wrestle Talk podcast, or even history in the United States. What I am about to announce is actually pro wrestling history at its core. I'm almost nervous to say it. But ladies and gentlemen, the reason we have all gathered here tonight is because we have a special announcement concerning one of the upcoming inductees to the Independent St. Louis Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, and my friend will explain here in just a moment, our very own Luke Skywalker Roberts will be an inductee of the 2025 Independent St. Louis Hall of Fame class of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen,
let's go,
Skywalker, I'm going to give you a moment to gather yourself, because we're going to give Jimmy Big Time Harris the opportunity to talk about what went into making this decision and how hard it was to keep it a secret, because we know you always have your ear to the ground, Skywalker. So very few of us were involved in this, but the man who really made it happen, besides yourself, of course, is the one, the only Big Time Jimmy Harris. Jimmy, the floor is yours.
Hey, thanks, man. I've been thinking about this for actually a few years now, and Luke has always been on my list. I've worked with Luke with different things. We worked together in MMWA. I've watched him in Dynamo. We worked, Crossroad SICW. We moved around. But when we started going through the list of people that we thought about, Luke was always on my list. People say, "Oh, you're going to take recommendations." As I don't need recommendations when it comes to Luke. He was already on my list. And then when we announced during the Hall of Fame, we announced that Jeremy Lightfoot and Doc Lombardi was going to be going in. And then we had that issue come up that Luke was actually going to be an announcer for one of the guys that were going to go in, but they turned down going into the hall. And I kind of cornered Luke last minute, and I said, "Hey, Spike's not going to be there, but I need you to come up with a way to give me a rundown to put Spike Hubert. I want you to put Spike Hubert in there. If everybody's going to do it, I know you got the background, the knowledge, and the skill. Make it happen for me." Now, I gave him 2 weeks to get it done. and Luke didn't let me down. He made it happen. It was funny because it was traditional wrestling way. Because our friend Dr. Drew was having his memorial for his mother and stuff that had passed away, and he had let me know that he was going there first, which I was absolutely okay with. And we actually had Luke third on the program. I said, "Bet like any other wrestling show, subject to change." And Luke did that beautifully when he came in and went up there and announced that, yeah, card was subject to change, and that's how we got where we were at. And it just worked out. And then when I talked to all my guys, and they knew I wanted Luke, I was thinking about Luke last year, honestly, for this last class that just went in, and we had already had our picks in. So this year was a no-brainer. Luke was top of my list, and he was my first guy to put in. And Luke, welcome to the family.
Wow. Yep. Give me one more round of applause, y'all. Please, come on, everybody join in. This is
ever. But wait. It's not over, Luke. I don't want you to think this is it, okay? I'm really look at him smiling. He's going to kill himself. He's smiling so hard. Luke, you're not done, brother, because of your knowledge, your background, your skill, and then poor Luke had to come up with a list for me for other people, and he stayed up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning making lists for me. And he finally sent me over like 3 or 4 lists. And so because of that, Luke, and because you're going in as a Hall of Fame, and my board members are all Hall of Fames, welcome to the board of directors for the Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Renee didn't even know that one.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Torture you a bit longer.
Time over.
Okay. Listen, we're gonna torture you a little bit longer. We're gonna give everybody a minute or so. We're gonna go around the home from Perry. We'll go all the way around, and then we'll throw it to you, man. Anybody, and I'm sure everybody's gonna have something nice to say. I want you guys to tell us just kind of your experience working with Skywalker. Obviously, we all believe and know that he deserves it. I just want to give everybody the platform for a minute to say some nice things. Let's start with our resident chaplain, the one and only Big Daddy P. Go ahead, Big Daddy P.
So much is given, much is required. So buckle up. It's just the beginning.
The realist. I love it. All right, my guy, the CEO. What do you got for Skywalker, brother?
Yo, Luke, I owe you some barbecue, baby. Congratulations, sir, for this accomplishment. You're going to get some ribs from your big dog, KC. Congratulations, brother. You deserve it.
That's right. Absolutely. And I know this is near and dear to your heart, Jay Wade, because you and I talked about this a while ago. I know we hadn't had a chance to catch up recently. I wish we had, but I know that'll change moving forward. Bro, you're a longtime friend and hermano of Luke Skywalker Roberts. I know you've got some words. Go ahead.
I don't usually get emotional. I've known him for over 20 years. He has told me all the hardships he's gone through in this business. It's hard to make friends in life, and it's hard to make friends in this business, but I view him as one of my best and dearest friends. And to hear that he's going to be into this Hall of Fame makes my day. For all the things that go on in his life, this is probably the biggest accolade for him in the history of the business that dealt with him in it. I have a lot more to say, but hopefully I can save it for that day.
That's right. A smart man thinking ahead. Gabe, you're the young buck. You're the young lion of the team, but I know Skywalker has been a mentor to you like he's been to many of us. Your thoughts?
Just don't forget us little people, man. But thank you for your time. I mean, I'm still very new to this, like the podcast game, the grind and wrestling game. Like, I know I got a lot more to learn, but to see one of us get there, I don't know, it gives me something to shoot for, you know? It's like to see you go far ahead, I'm like, I want to reach that because one of us did it. So I don't know. It's like pushing each other to strive for good things. So like nothing but good vibes, man. Thank you. And like
love that.
We love you.
Carb, baby, I know you're never short for words. That's one thing we can always count on with the maestro. Nor are you ever short on sincere emotion, man. What are your thoughts about this?
Oh shit. if you want my honest opinion, I'm about to cry because Luke has been right by my side for about 10 years now. I would not be where I'm at in the field of journalism, in professional wrestling. I wouldn't be in front of the screen right now if it wasn't for him. I was, and Luke knows this, I was 1,000% prepared to actively campaign for him to be inducted into the upcoming class. I had him send me resumes, accolades, do whatever he could, and I would get it out there. I was prepared on every show. I went on some of my podcast shows and spent 10, 15 minutes saying why he deserves to be in this Hall of Fame.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I saw it.
And for it to finally happen is the culmination of nearly 40 years of just incredible hard work, dedication, perseverance. And Wade's right. There's plenty I'm going to say on that day. And I know there's plenty of us that want to induct you. But you can guarantee no matter what, I'm going to be there. I love you like a brother. And I am sincerely so happy for you that you are finally getting recognized for everything you've done for all of us.
You are the freaking man, Carp. I knew something here. We're going to jump over a couple of guys here over to, I think, someone that easily considered one of Skywalker's best friends, somebody that has been through thick and thin. Road Dogg, I miss you, baby. I'm glad you're here today. I'm so glad that you made it a point to be here. I know you didn't know this was going to happen, but the fact that you stepped up like you've done so many times before for the Wrestle Talk podcast, and you've done so many times for your friends, bro. Take your time, man. Say your piece. I know there's a lot to be said, but if anybody knows this man and everything that he's been through, it's you and Jay Wade. So do you think?
I absolutely had no idea that this was going to happen. So this is really as much of a surprise to me as it is to anybody. However, I've been yelling it from the mountaintop for years that Luke needs to be into the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame, because that's just, he's done everything in this business that you can do, and he deserves his flowers. And I've been up and down the roads with this guy for years. There are stories that we probably can't tell, and there are probably stories that, you know, almost running into the ass end of a horse and joining a parade in Waynesville. There was the trip to more recently that Carp and Wade were on when we went to Iowa for the Tragos Hall of Fame. And I can't wait, because I was already planning on being at the Hall of Fame because of Jeremy Lightfoot, because Jeremy Lightfoot's one of my favorite people in the world. But there's nothing that's going to keep me away next year. I'm going to be there for Luke Roberts. So, I mean, he deserves it more than anybody. And I can't wait at the next show to actually announce this to people. And I don't know if I want to do a pre-show meeting or if I want to actually do, maybe I'll do it both places, but Luke Roberts deserves this.
There's no question about it. And I'll try to be brief as well. I mean, this show nearing 500 episodes, I'm quite confident we would not be this far along if Luke Skywalker Roberts had not joined the team. Secondly, on a personal level, Skywalker has bailed me out in really tough situations, things that I probably wouldn't discuss here amongst the show. But when you talk about a person that's willing to give their shirt off their back for somebody else, that's Skywalker. Now, the crazy thing about Skywalker is not only is he going to give you the shirt off his back, he's going to make sure that it's washed, ironed, and on a clothes hanger.
Yes.
Because that's just the way he operates. And we wouldn't ask him to change a damn thing. And here's the kind of the biggest thing for me is that everybody in this room, except maybe with the exception of Jimmy, knows how it is to work with me. And it could be look at DeJuan's eyes rolling at the back of his head. It could be some of the most irritating, last minute, what the hell are you talking about 3 days before battle for the briefcase type of shit. But yet somehow we find a way to get it done. Between you, Carp, and Dewan as business partners, formerly Joe, formerly Sonny, these people that I've connected with on another level, Gabe in the FWWC, amongst a few others, there aren't that many people that I can like really magnetize with. And Big Daddy P in my faith, I can't continue without saying this. The inspiration that I've received from him from a faith perspective, like this. So Skywalker, bro, I know nobody else was man enough to say it, but I love you. And there's really nobody that I know that deserves this honor more than you do, brother. So God bless you. Congratulations on not only becoming a Hall of Famer, you're now a board member. And all I can say about that, it's about damn time. Yeah, that Luke Skywalker Roberts got his ass into a legitimate, respected Hall of Fame where he'll be appreciated. And like I said before I tease this thing, this is pro wrestling history. No one will ever be able to take this away from our brother, Luke Skywalker Roberts. Floor is yours, bro.
Well, guys, first of all, I'm a level. I'm completely floored here. 36 years in this industry, and one of the things I've learned is professional wrestling is a brotherhood, and to have all the words that have been said tonight, as well as Big Jim Harris saying what he said tonight. First of all, I'm very honored and very humbled that the board has chosen not only to induct me as a part of the 2025 Independent St. Louis Wrestling Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame class, and being alongside of Jeremy Lightfoot and Doc Lombardi. I mean, two men that I've really grown up with in this industry. But to be added to the board of directors, and a lot of people don't know this. I know Jim does. I think Rodell does. To be on a committee, to be on the board of directors with a man who trained me to be in this industry, a man in John Blackheart that basically gave me the opportunity to learn to crawl, to walk, and to run in this industry. And to be a part, I mean, just looking at the names of the people who have already been inducted before me, and to be in such company is truly an honor. It's the icing on the cake. It's the very highest honor you can get. And I want to say thank you to the board for choosing me in both capacities. I want to say thank you to all of my brothers here on the Wrestle Talk podcast, who, again, there's a lot of ideas, a lot of things I've learned, but one of the things you always learn in wrestling is you always keep learning. I told that when I trained Justin Wade. I told that when I talked with Jeremy Carp. I always use that when I talk to the Night Owl. I'm always still learning. I'm always wanting to be a part of this industry. And I said it in my speech. It's not sports entertainment to me. It's the sport of professional wrestling to me. I've grown up in this industry. My brother is a retired professional wrestler, as we've talked about on this program. My nephew is a part of the Micro Wrestling Federation, Micro Brawlers, or Micro Wrestling Federation, and having the opportunity to be a part of this industry has been nothing short of one of the greatest experiences in my life. And again, thank you very much for everything. Jim, to the board, to the professional wrestling fans, not just to the Wrestle Talk podcast, to professional wrestling fans throughout the country who have had an opportunity to be a part of events I've been a part of. And again, it's my honor. Again, words can't begin to express how I feel over being now being a Hall of Famer.
catch my breath here, and I think there's only one other thing to be said here.
Never drew a dime. Not a dime. Not a dime.
I had to bring it back down.
You know, this took a lot to make this happen because I reached out to Night Owl. He was the only other person that was aware of what was going on. Billy Diamond's going nuts because he wants to post the whole list, and I told him he couldn't do it until we did this podcast to make this happen for Luke. You know, everybody's chomping at the bit, wanting to know who's going in. One of the greatest things that I got was from Dave Perry when Dave Perry was leaving. He says, Jimmy says, you didn't have to do this, but you did. And, you know, and it's like I said, you know, we're giving back to those that led the way for us to get us where we were at. And that's a lot of things people forget, that wrestling was the biggest part of St. Louis. St. Louis is a big, huge hub of wrestling that's throughout the United States and the world.
Still is, Jimmy. Still is, baby.
Yep. And so those big shows don't happen without guys like us that help bring those people into those big shows. So, you know, we help get them started. We help give them ideas how to work. And then we get them up to where they can start working on psychology of ring and all that good stuff and how to work a mic. And in the respect of getting in and out of the ring, because I see a lot of guys now that don't wipe their feet prior to going into the ring. And I'm saying, boy, that you're just showing me you have no respect for the business, you know, and the people that came before you. So my thing is, and look, you got one of the programs on the back of my program was the thing I said that we take what's given to us and our job is to pass it forward to the next group. And that's what we're about. So whenever you're ready, so you guys are going to get the exclusive first full list of class of 2025 when you guys are ready for it.
Now, do y'all understand why I walked in there celebrating and dancing? Does everybody understand why they not like us? They not like us.
My heart stopped a little bit.
Rodell, do you get it now? Do you get why I was so excited in the beginning? You were making fun of me, bro. This was like, dude, this made my month, my year.
Bro,
You have no
I
idea, man.
I made fun of you though. I made fun of you all the time, so I mean, it's not, it really shouldn't be that much of a surprise.
You know, I'm going to put that
However,
down in the books. I've never seen. I've been on events. I've been traveling. I've been with the Night Owl. I've been with Kansas City. I've been to Vegas. I've never seen this man dance, and that's definitely going to go in my highlight video of the Night Owl dancing, because I don't know if we're going to ever see that again.
All right, well, I wasn't going to dance at CAC. I already got enough trouble with Medusa. Medusa was already yelling at me, so I was like, maybe I need to settle my ass down. So one last time, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, not only to the newest board member, but also the newest inductee to the Independent St. Louis Hall of Fame class of 2025, our very own Luke Skywalker. Make some noise, gentlemen. Make some noise. You're not clapping, Maestro. I'm watching you. Clap.
I'm holding the phone, recording. That's why. This is going on I-70, man.
Yes. Clip this thing and share it. Jimmy, before we let you go, buddy, any final words? All I can say to you is, man, thank you for the trust, man. I promise we will continue to curate and help grow the world of professional wrestling, to pass the baton down, as you said, to the very best of our ability, man, to continue to honor the great sport that we love. Go ahead, buddy. What do you got?
All right, Luke, are you ready to hear who you're going in with this in 2025?
I'm more than ready, Jim. I'm more than ready. So we've already talked about at the top of the program. We talked about Jeremy Lightfoot, the Native Nightmare, and Doc Lombardi being a part of the class of 2025. Fellow director, CEO, president, the floor is yours.
All right, so here we go. Ed Smith will be going into the Hall of Fame with you, Luke. We decided that we need to go ahead and put him in with ours, and Ed was my trainer when I went through this. He helped train me up when I was coming through the business, and when I got injured, couldn't wrestle anymore. I could only referee. Ed's one that kept his foot in my backside to make sure I was doing right. We're also going to be putting in Doug O'Shea. He's going in under the Black Heart Award. We're also putting in Harley Race this year. We're also going to put in Big Frank Reed, aka Frank Root, will be going in. We're also putting in Peggy under the Jerry Bullion Award, which is his sister, who everybody that's in the wrestling world knows. They go to every independent show in the state of Missouri and Illinois. Biggest fans you've ever seen in your life. Pete Madden will be going in as well. We're also, and I talked to him personally myself, and he has accepted. Steve Sharp will be going in as well. We also have Chris Knight going in, along with Ace Strange. You guys remember them from the Connection in St. Louis area. We're also putting in Mischief.
Wow.
And then the last person to be going in would be our number 14 would be Mark Bland. So that is the class. Yeah. So that is the class of 2025. Now Billy Diamond can post it on the webpage tomorrow. He promised everybody that he'd be putting it out in 2 days. Tomorrow's the second day. So we get that out of the way now, Billy. You're good, brother. Go ahead and post.
Well, Jimmy, thank you for giving us. I just want to say thank you for giving us the privilege of breaking this news here, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Skywalker.
I got to throw one more thing here. When it comes down to it, are we sure that our microphones are going to be able to handle Mischief? Because Chris and I have been at plenty of events, and she has this weird tendency of like blowing up speakers and such.
Well, we're going to do the best we can. If we have to, we'll put a couple of filters on her and tune it down a little bit, but we'll figure it out.
Just the
yeah, we'll drop the treble and no bass.
So Jimmy, are you saying that Billy Diamond has the post already ready to go? All he's got to do is hit post and it's ready to go.
That's it, brother. He's been waiting on me because I told him, and I told the whole hall, our board members, that nobody's posting nothing other than Jeremy and Doc are allowed to, because we announced them at the Hall of Fame this year. Everybody else is on hold. Nobody else can post nothing until after this show, because I want to make sure that I caught Luke surprised, off guard, and Night Owl helped me make that happen. And nobody else knew but the board, Night Owl, and myself. So, and Night Owl knew if he acted a fool, I was coming to get him. So he knows
I'd like to keep my green card. Thank you very much.
Right. He might not worked with me, but he knows what I do for a living, so he knew he better be on the right path. I was coming to get him.
Jimmy, I'm not being detained, am I? I'm not being detained.
Not as of yet, but you did good, so I'm going to let you slide. I'll mail your card back to you.
I love you, Jimmy.
So thank you guys so much for allowing me to be on here to do this. Again, welcome, brother. And of course, I'm going to work that shit out of you, just so you're aware.
Ride that horse.
Right, I'm going to ride that hog hard and I'm going to put you away wet, so you're going to be okay. But thanks again, guys. Night, guys.
Cheers. Everybody say bye.
All right, Jim. Thank you again.
Jimmy, thanks for again.
All right.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, big time Jimmy Harris. Skywalker, it's just us, and between all social media platforms and all the replays, 1,000+ people watching, just intimate, nothing crazy. Bro, how are you feeling, man?
Can I ask a question though, real quick? Carp, are you okay? Carp, are you okay? Like, no, literally,
that was crazy.
Oh, dude.
This is heavy, man. Like, I can't, it's not even my accolade, but I can't tell you how much it means just to hear it. Like, because Luke is my mentor. So seeing my mentor getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, that's really something special. Like, it really is.
I'm glad you asked that, Rodell. I'm not sure if he was crying about that or the fact he's got to have Sean Watson as his quarterback all next season. Wasn't sure.
He's a Browns fan. I mean,
that's okay. Renee, we don't know who your quarterback is. It's whichever one does the best, right?
What are you talking about? I'm a Chiefs fan. Everybody knows that. Stop lying. All right, Skywalker. I know as much fun as you're having, you are desperately anxious to get this show back on the road, but there's something more important, and everybody will understand. We do have our resident chaplain here, and no blessing is worth receiving if you're not grateful for it. So, Big Daddy P, Doesn't matter what episode this is, whether it's 500, 5,000, or number 5. We got business to handle, so we'll give you the floor here for a couple of minutes. I'm hoping we can get Dewan back because we had a little bit of FWC stuff, like maybe 2 minutes worth we needed to touch on. Somebody can message him for me. I would really appreciate it. But Big Daddy P, I know you just saw everything that took place. You had no idea. And usually I like to share these things with you so you're prepared, bro. So just drop it on us, man. Give us the snippets. Give us our prayer so we can have a great rest of the show.
Remember that you're not promoted unless the Lord promotes you. Okay? So all of your promotions throughout your life, the Lord is responsible for promoting you because, as I stated, where much is given, much is required, which means even if somebody has a little bit of faith, they don't have very much, but they have just enough, that in itself is good enough for eternal life. So imagine everything else after that. The challenge comes is when we get promoted, we have a certain expectation about that promotion. And sometimes we don't know what God's up to. I mean, we think we know what God's up to, but again, you just never know. So I want to encourage you tonight that if anybody who has not been promoted yet, who is waiting for their promotion, be patient. It will come. But I can also tell you, just even knowing Luke, as long as I've known him, what I know for sure is that he does put the Lord first on many occasions. And that's why he's received the blessing he's received. So just recognize, and it ain't about, him being holier than thou or me being holier than thou, because in the end, we all fail and we all fall short of his glory. But the 2 greatest commandments are to love the Lord and to love his people. So we're here tonight to obviously shower love on Luke. And again, congratulations. Your promotion is it does change things because people look at you different. They treat you different. The unfortunate part is in the business you're in, you ain't going to make any more money. So enjoy your promotion because that's all you're going to get. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, just keep in mind again that with all the chaos, with everything going on in this world, you might think that maybe God's not in control, but I promise you, not only is he in control, but he's got the future taken care of. So if you are happening to listen, if you've not put your faith and trust in Christ, there is no better time than now. He says, come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That includes all the children of God. Anybody who's ever put their faith and trust, he wants us to continue to trust him, to continue to come to him, because there's never going to come a time, and I repeat, never going to come a time where he's going to turn his back on you. You might turn your back on him. You might get to a point where you receive success. And as at Night Owl said, you stop giving thanks. You've got to have an attitude of gratitude, because what ends up happening is he'll never give you more than you can handle, nor will he give you something that is below what you need to do. Because let me tell you, some of the least paying jobs I've ever had were some of the greatest. And some of the highest paying jobs were the biggest pain in my ass I've ever had. So keep it all in perspective, chill, rest, and do me one more favor. July 4th is coming up. Can anybody tell me the name of the holiday?
Independence Day.
Don't be independent, be God dependent. Let that sink in. Be God dependent. It doesn't mean you can't believe in yourself, because you can, but he's never going to take you to a place where his grace won't protect you. Father God, I thank you so much for this time. We thank you for the wonderful accolades that Luke has received. Father, we know that he is a humble man. We know that he has got such a wonderful heart, and that's the reason why you promoted him. He's been in this business, and he has dedicated this time, and we're thankful that you've kept him here. For many people went to sleep last night. They didn't awaken. There are people who are going to go to bed tonight and have all these plans for 4th of July, but they ain't waking up. Their work is done. But for those that you keep here, for those that you have remain, I pray that you strengthen them, that you give them the endurance necessary to continue on. for all those that are hurting, that are trying to recover, that can't do what they love to do. Father, we know you're the great healer, but we also know you allow things to happen sometimes to slow us down because we're moving so fast. And so I thank you for your healing hands. I thank you for those who are afraid to come to you tonight because they don't think you're going to answer. I pray that they try you tonight, Father, that they would continue to trust you in all situations. And for those who didn't speak up about any issues that they're having, Father, I pray that you would give them the strength to come to you, that they would trust you. We just thank you so much, and we love you. And we ask these things in the power of the Holy Spirit, in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, in whose name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, our resident chaplain, Big Daddy P. Big Daddy P, thank you very much, brother. I thank you tremendously for being here. Like I said, you're a mentor, you're a leader, and we're almost to 500, baby. I don't even know what to say. It's incredible, ain't it? Long way from the Masked Saint.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man.
Yeah. Love you, bro. We'll catch you next week.
Guys. Be good.
See you
until next time.
Peace. Wow. Big Daddy P, ladies and gentlemen. Skywalker, I know this has all been tremendously overwhelming for you. Honestly, to me, it just comes down to justice. And I think this whole thing was overdue. I know I'm your friend and we're not supposed to keep secrets, so I apologize. But I think in this instance, it was worth it. Hopefully, you will forgive me.
Night Owl, I got to tell you right now, I mean, again, just to put my name and a Hall of Famer in the same sentence is something I would have never imagined. And to be, and again, the names that were there, I mean, you're talking about, in this class alone, you're talking about the Harley races, you're talking about Mischief, I mean, Jeremy Lightfoot, Doc Lombardi, Mark Bland, I mean, the names, it's a who's
Pete
who.
Madden, bro. Look
Pete
at the
Madden,
people you're going in
another
with,
man who I got a story to share real quick. I know we got to get back to Wrestle Madness, but I remember, and Rodell remembers back in the day, back a promotion called the Mississippi Valley Wrestling Alliance and the Interstate Wrestling Alliance, or Interstate Wrestling Association, I should say. And nobody bothered to tell me that I was going to have to go in and save somebody in the ring. And they always tell you, be prepared to go out in the ring. And it was like July. It was like 105 degrees here in St. Louis. It was hotter than who'd have thunk it. I wind up running in my sandals. And the commentary that Pete Madden said, that he was sitting there at ringside, only the Techno Kid can make sandals look. And I'm not going to share what Pete said, but as soon as he said it, I'd put my head down and go, I'm done. Can't wrestle, can't do anything else. I couldn't keep it together. And as soon as I got back through the curtain, I just lost it, man. It was, but again, all these names that are going in, again, the Chris Knights, the Ace Stranges. I mean, I want to sit down and look at this list because, I mean, again, to be in a class with these individuals joining such a prestigious Hall of Fame and being a member of the board of directors now is truly an honor. And again, I have to say thank you to everybody. And the Wrestle Talk podcast has been a very important part of that as well.
So I have a quick message, literally just really quick. I got a message from referee Christopher Miles, a dear friend of ours. He's been tuning in, and he messaged me that he heard about Luke getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he says, I can sum it up in only 2 words. So deserved.
Oh, let's go. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jared. Great guys. They got an awesome show over on the I-70 platform. Make sure you guys check them out. The only other thing I'll say is by no means do I want anybody to believe that I'm patting myself on the back or hitting myself on the chest about coordinating this thing. Jimmy wanted it this way. He wanted there to be a high level of discretion. You guys heard that he didn't allow his guys to announce the list. So I was just the fortunate one that got the call. I immediately said, and I named everybody, even the guys that aren't with us anymore, because I know how those guys feel about Skywalker. I said, anybody and everybody that has ever been here, from Rick Rose to Joe Lance, everybody in between, would absolutely be honored to be receiving this news. So thank you for choosing us, for choosing this platform, guys. Jimmy went above and beyond. He not only allowed us to make the announcement, the announcement about the board of directors, and then he gave us the rest of the Hall of Fame card, y'all. Are we doing something right? Because you know what I said? I said, show me a sign, God, that we need to go beyond 500. Everybody here knows that. I said, show me why. And Wade, you were still here for this. Show me why we need to go past 500. Is this a sign, Wade? Is it? Tell me, baby.
I think Jimmy was crunched for time because when he said that list, I didn't hear my name. So
get the fuck out of here. This guy.
Get Jimmy back on here. Maybe he needs to reread it. I don't know. But I am riding Luke's coattails into this Hall of Fame, and I'm going to be scratching my name into his plaque because he wouldn't be here today without me.
I'm gonna put my name. I'm gonna put my name on the back of his plaque just so he doesn't forget me.
Actually, I'm gonna carve my name into his back, saying "my property."
I'm gonna put my name on the dinner. I'm gonna put my name on the dinner napkin that he at his table spot.
Where are you putting your name? Scene, where are you putting your name?
He's on mute.
No, he's gonna unmute himself. He knows. He's the new guy. Give him.
He's probably thinking, I don't even know what y'all are talking about.
Where are you putting your name? We're all putting our names somewhere on.
He's gonna be like, "Who's Luke Roberts?"
They're all riding their coattails in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, everybody's riding Skywalker.
We're so very happy for him.
Where are you putting your name?
I put my name on my signature.
No, so he's gonna write his own way.
On my
trying to finish it.
That looks sick.
I'm getting done before MLW. I want to give it to tonight, guy.
They're gonna love that.
Contra.
They're gonna love that. Contra, bro. Oh my gosh. Kruger.
Dude,
anyway,
they make me think of Cobra from G.I. Joe.
So well, the game Contra from back in the day. Here's what I'm doing. I'm not putting my name on anything, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put "kick me" on the back of a piece of paper, and when he's walking up, I'm going to pat him on the back, and that's for sure going to happen. So Skywalker, you better have eyes on the back. That's going to be a good gag. Imagine in his Hall of Fame speech, he walks up with a "kick me" sign on his back.
That's the goal.
Yeah, I know y'all ain't laughing, but if that shit happens, y'all gonna be laughing. I swear.
1990.
I'll be kicking
bad jokes back.
I know, gotta do it. Shut up. Wait, prick. All right. Anyway, are we ready to move on? You want to take the reins again, Skywalker?
We'll go back in here, but
it's like,
let's go back to where we were 30 minutes ago. Yeah,
like,
let's go back to 30 minutes ago, and we'll look at what's here. And again, we go from one monumental event to another. When we talk about Wrestle Madness, Tiger Mask versus Kane. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, this is a matchup, two completely different styles, two completely different generations. I think we've had plenty of time to think about this. For the sake of argument, we know what's here. It's going to kind of go into the same category. We're going to make this real quick and to the point. And thank you, John Haas, by the way. Again, thank you very much for your message as well. Gentlemen, here we go. Tiger Mask versus Kane. Maestro.
Oh, God dang it. All right. Now, how are you supposed to tell me that we had all this time to think about it when that was what we spent the past 40 minutes with? We had no time to think about anything.
Sounds like someone's complaining.
All right. You know what? Screw it. It's going to break my heart because I love Kane so much. But you know what? If we're going off the best masked wrestler, look, and we're doing all 5 iterations, shit. I got to go Tiger Mask. And it's breaking my heart to do this because Kane was one of my favorites growing up.
It's Tiger Mask, and it's not even close.
Okay, Jay Wade.
If Kane was portrayed as the monsters he was in his debut year, 97, and they kept him like that and never had him talk, never had him take his mask off, then I would say Kane. After seeing Tiger Mask in all his iterations, I don't know what iteration took on the Dynamite Kid in the early 80s, but anyone that could live through, maybe they had to change the iteration of Tiger Mask because of his matches with Dynamite Kid. If they can survive those, then it's Tiger Mask all day.
Night Owl?
You know, I do have a golden ticket in my back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make an argument for Kane here, okay? Can anybody tell me, without looking it up, What was the biggest championship that Tiger Mask ever won? In what year? Go. Stop Googling RC. I'm watching you. I want your hands on your nose right now.
Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Okay, I see. What'd you say? Say that again.
IWGP Junior.
Oh, Junior. Okay. All right. Yeah. Rodell, I see you Googling.
I don't know the year, but
my hands are right here.
Yeah.
I do believe, wasn't he a UWA in Mexico champion as well? And he was also a former WWF light heavyweight champion as well.
Okay. A Carp?
I mean, with Tiger Mask, I couldn't tell you.
Wait.
I ain't gonna Google it.
Yeah, I was gonna say light heavyweight champion WWF. I believe it was 82 or 83.
Okay. Question number 2: who's more well traveled? Who traveled around the globe more during their career, hitting more countries throughout their career? Tiger Mask or Kane? Go.
Tiger Mask.
Tiger Mask.
Tiger Mask went to more countries than Kane.
He went to Mexico, Japan.
Bro, tell me what country the WWE doesn't wrestle in. Go.
Not the WWE that Kane's wrestled in.
Egypt.
Right. Kane traveled with the WWE for 25 years almost. They went everywhere, bro.
This is every iteration of Tiger Mask.
So where did he go?
No, this is composite. You're saying every iteration of Tiger Mask because it's the mask, not one person. That's 5 Tiger Masks. They've covered more of the globe. You know this numerically.
I think you guys know the name, but you don't know the accolades.
This is like if you say
Kane's
accolades. Superman. This is every version of Superman, even Golden Age when he was broken. Like this is my best comparison.
Bro,
you don't fuck with Tiger Mask.
Let me say this. As a tag team, was there, if they would have kept them together as a tag team, was there any tag team that could have ever been better than Kane and Undertaker? What tag team acumen does Tiger Mask have that matches that?
Tiger Mask and Tiger Mask Dark.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's really good stuff.
They only paired them together for the 2-man power trip that I remember.
But what if they would have? Wade, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
The problem was
they were too big. It was like the Mega
team.
Powers, right?
One of them was Eddie Guerrero. This is like King from Tekken. This is why I love it. It's everything in wrestling. And you know I like King from Tekken. I have a T-shirt.
I love King.
I will pull this out on camera, Renee.
I'll kill you.
I will die on
this
hill.
Law, bro,
I will die on this hill.
If I got law, you're done.
Madness 5.
All right. We've had the discussion of world travel. Night Owl, your vote.
Okay. I know it's my turn to vote. I just have one last very, very quick question. Okay. Kane is and was a multiple-time world champion in the biggest promotion to ever exist in the history of the planet. Why is nobody crediting that? And he was a tag team champion with multiple tag team members, with X-Pac, with Daniel Bryan, with Undertaker. I'm just saying, listen, I know everybody hears Tiger Mask. RVD. And you got, okay, everybody wants to sound cool like they know who the hell Tiger Mask is. Okay, you really don't, guys.
Well,
the answer here is Kane. The answer is Kane.
Can we just say that one of Kane's world title reigns was less than 24 hours?
We can. And how many world title reigns did Tiger Mask have?
Pull it up. Pull up.
Pull up.
We have it here. We got receipts. We got receipts. NWA middleweight champion, WWF junior heavyweight champion, the biggest promotion, Renee, Tokyo Pro Wrestling tag team,
junior heavyweight,
the one, Wrestling Hall of Fame International, NWA International Junior Heavyweight champion.
I can read, Gabe. I can read. So then I'll just say this. So he worked at NWA, he worked at WWF, he worked at New Japan Pro Wrestling, and at none of them was he ever awarded the heavyweight championship, right? He was never the world champion. No promotion at any particular time said, this is our number one guy. And you're comparing him to somebody who is one of the most dominant wrestlers of all time, who was a multiple-time world champion at the top company in history.
All right,
how do you guys throw that away? How do you all just discard that?
He's not going to win. He's not going to win. And no, I'm not using my golden ticket.
He should win this one, though.
But
okay,
I'm switching my personal vote to Kane because, it's what my heart says.
Right. So, and we don't need to talk about accomplishments outside the ring because Kane has gone on to have a fairly successful, no matter what side of it you're on. He's moved on to be a mayor. He's done some pretty outstanding shit. outside of professional wrestling, and
Yes,
he was
that's not
trusted
leadership.
enough to become an authority figure for that same promotion. So I'm going with Kane. I'm done. I'm moving on. But I'm just saying, y'all were quick to want to sound like smart guys picking Tiger Mask, but you know it's wrong. So do the right thing.
Arsene?
My fangs are long. Tiger Mask. That's it.
All right. Well, now at this point, we've got to throw it out there. In the case of Carp and Renee, do either of you want to use your golden ticket?
Use your golden ticket, Renee. That way I can save mine.
Man, you guys are gonna hate me. What's this thing about the golden ticket? I kind of
Basically, what happens, Justin, if you use your golden ticket, if that person did, it's basically a guarantee that person to move to the next round.
Oh, okay.
So what are we sitting at right now, votes wise?
Right now, it would be, as it stands, 3-2 Tiger Mask.
And you don't get a vote?
No, I'm impartial.
Anybody want it? Carp? I know you were on the fence.
I'm going with Kane, but I don't think I can use that. I feel like that golden ticket's going to come in handy later.
Exactly.
Rodell, you disagree with my argument?
I would use
I don't
it,
disagree
but I
with
know he can get through this.
your argument, but when we're talking about the greatest masked wrestlers of all time, and you don't put Tiger Mask up there, then you're, I mean, what Kane spent half of the WWE career without a freaking mask.
Fair point.
And then he put it back on, and it was lame.
Yeah, it kind of sucked the second time around. That's fair.
All right. All right.
That's on the
And
other
the very
this
last
point-
time in Saudi Arabia when it got pulled off his head.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead, gentlemen. At this point, we're going to move on here to the next bracket. And for time's sake, like I said, I wasn't expecting the announcement here either. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next round here. Our next two competitors are Blue Panther and Jushin Thunder Liger.
I don't even know why we would need to discuss this one because
No.
Jushin Liger needs to go through because he's a wrestling god.
Yeah.
Liger.
Okay, Renee and Rodell have said Liger. Carp?
Liger.
And let me put everyone on ease at the time, too. Once we get past the first round, we've basically talked a little bit about each guy, so every other round will be quick. So don't worry about it.
Exactly. Very much so. Wade?
Liger.
And Arsene?
No offense to Blue Panther, but I have to Google him after this. So Liger.
Same here.
Ooh.
If
One of them, I'm going to tell you right.
wrestler, you're in trouble.
Well, right now, to give you an idea, Arsene, before you Google him, go to YouTube. I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised.
How is he
with
on
your.
here and Hurricane isn't? That's what I want to know.
We're going to talk about that in our meeting on Monday. Moving to the next two. This is two of them that's going to be really interesting to see, and I really want to look at. To be honest with you, this is going to be for more of the old school wrestling fan. Our next two competitors are the Masked Superstar, known by other personalities throughout the professional wrestling world, and Octagon.
That's an easy one for me, I'm going to be honest.
Okay, Renee?
Octagon, all day, every day. Twice on Sunday.
Okay. Let's go with Arsene.
So it was Octagon and who?
The Masked Superstar.
The Masked Superstar. Can you pull up a picture of the Masked Superstar?
One more time.
Masked Superstar was known outside of that persona as Demolition Axe.
Oh,
respect. But we're not counting that. We're talking about his
Right,
mask.
exactly.
No.
You're looking at just under the mask.
I do whatever
It's not
I
a
want.
tag.
It's like,
Well,
no,
Jay
'cause it's
Wade.
I like to think of it as
Don't
like
give a shit.
it's wrestling lore. So yes, absolutely you can consider it, but it's Axe. And it's like no offense to the guy. But I know Octagon.
Big old
Octagon, I don't know if Pentagon is on the list, but Octagon gave us Pentagon. So that's my logic.
Well, I think Pentagon has accomplished more than Ray Phoenix, so he better be on here.
All right, Jay Wade.
Yo, you don't know shit about either one. I can already.
I don't.
I can already tell you.
Guys,
Hey, pull up the stats one more time, bro. Let's help my man out. Let's help my man out. Pull the stats up one more time.
Let's see. I don't know these guys.
It's all NWA stuff, which is pretty dope.
Let's go Octagon. He's probably an innovator of something.
Yeah, he is. He's like the
let's
Zorro.
go with the Maestro.
That's what his gimmick was, right? Like the Zorro of Lucha Libre.
Hell. Okay. You know what? Just go Octagon. I'm going Octagon.
Yeah.
And Rodell.
I mean, if you're saying the Masked Superstar is Axe, I would go that way, but no, it's Octagon because I mean, who really remembers the Masked Superstar?
Right. And all I want to say is the fact that one of these guys is getting through and Kane isn't, criminal.
That is your opinion, Night Owl.
I do get that. Can you imagine if Masked Superstar made it and Kane didn't?
Fuck out of here. Imagine if Goldberg made it. Could you imagine?
We're going to go back to Gilbert here in a minute. Let's move on to our next two. And these are two that a lot of wrestling fans are going to be very, very knowledgeable about, but it's going to be kind of a subtle one. On our first choice, we have Rey Mysterio. The other side of this matchup, Dos Caras. For those that are familiar, he is, I believe, the father of Alberto Del Rio. So, food for thought there. Another name, as the Night Owl brought up, I'm just going to throw my 2 cents in here. When you're talking about people like Blue Demon, you're talking about wrestlers like El Santo, you're talking about wrestlers like Mil Mascaras. Dos Caras is another one that would be considered not as high up, but definitely one that's often considered when it comes down there to those two. I think I kind of know what's going to go on here, but we're going to ask it. We're going to start with the Road Dogg on this one.
I mean, if you say anything other than Rey Mysterio, you're probably wrong. But I mean,
Maestro.
You know what's funny? He and Mil Mascaras are actually brothers. I do find that kind of interesting. But I mean, let's face it. Everybody in here grew up watching Rey Mysterio at some point in their lives, a good chunk of their lives, and in a way, just last night, watching Rey Mysterio. So I gotta go with Rey.
Night Owl?
Speaking of last night, I don't know if anybody caught the subtle jab that Corey Graves took at Rey Mysterio's wife. Super duper duper tasteless. I've always liked Corey Graves. I just couldn't understand why you would take a shot at a man's wife. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Where's Pat? We need Pat back. He needs to get home. Long story short, guys, Rey Mysterio is the answer. I will only say this though. Dos Caras is just another one of those guys that if we were doing like best Mexican wrestler ever, he would definitely be in the running for that. But up against Rey Mysterio, it's a no contest, fellas. Rey all day. Booyaka. Booyaka.
Okay, Wade. Mysterio
all day. Match to watch. Mysterio, Malenko, Halloween Havoc 96.
Yo, drop the link. Hit me with the link of that.
I don't know. I'll do a link.
We can definitely throw that in the chat for those that are watching the program. Arsene?
When this first came up, I thought I was going to be alone on picking Rey. And I'm glad I'm not.
How old do you think we are, bro?
It's not that. It's about appreciating the old stuff.
I'm not 57.
Because I like the classic Mexican stuff.
Well, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Arsene, I take it you are picking Rey Mysterio?
Yes.
Well, you want to talk about, and I'm going to use this way, he wants to classify it the old stuff. Well, the last two men in this bracket are two men that have done a lot, and I'm going to tell you right now, this matchup to me, granted, it's been many years ago. I would pay to watch it in 2024. Let's go ahead and bring up the last two graphics here. We have the original Mr. Wrestling taking on the original Blue Demon.
Oh.
Whoa. Can we go back to the Blue Demon graphic? There's a bunch of shit missing off of there.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Bro. No. Here's what's up. And I'm going to put it this way. Night Owl.
Stop it.
The reason why is you are talking the original Blue Demon, not Blue Demon Jr., that many people are familiar with at this point in time. We are talking the original Blue Demon.
That changes things.
Right. So I just got to throw it out here, gentlemen. This is definitely one that's going to pose a lot of questions. So I'm going to start this one off here with let's go with Jay Wade. I really want to see where his opinion is in this particular section, because I think this is a more of a classic style matchup that we would connect to. Jay Wade?
So when it comes to this, I probably know more about Blue Demon Jr. than the original Blue Demon. Mr. Wrestling, I really never watched any of his stuff. I've seen him in older issues of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. But they're innovators either way. It would be a slow-paced match for us today, but for the crowd for back in the day, it'd be something new. Because of the authenticness of Blue Demon, I'm gonna go with Blue Demon.
All right, very, very valid point there, Jay Wade. Night Out.
Guys, I'm with Jay Wade on this one. Believe it or not, I'm actually working on doing a little bit of research as we're doing this. Considered to be the second greatest luchador in Mexican history, behind only El Santo himself, defeating in championship matches Mil Máscaras, El Rayo de Jalisco, amongst others. And here's what I thought was really, really intriguing. Longest reigning CMLL champion of all time. Also ranked as the 28th greatest professional wrestler of all time in a book that was written by John Morellino and edited by Dave Meltzer himself. So if those guys are saying this guy's number 28 all time, I'm going with Blue Demon Sr. That's my choice.
All right. Arsene.
It's like hard to pick because these are kind of like figureheads when it comes to mass wrestling. Like, it just depends on the region. Like, these are two mass wrestlers, and I keep using the word classic, but it's like because I have to. It's overwhelming to think about this kind of appeal back in the day. Just the kind of character that lasts a lifetime where you're able to talk about it. So, because I know it's still Blue Demon Sr., but that inspired Blue Demon Jr., so I don't know.
Legado de Blue Demon. Okay, made his choice. Love it.
Well, you had me convinced with Blue Demon until you mentioned Dave Meltzer's name. So
that's what I was about to say.
I'm gonna go Mr. Wrestling.
You're putting words in my mouth, Frodo.
No, I mentioned Meltzer. That was my fault.
Yeah, he mentioned that Meltzer edited the book or something, and you lose me at Dave Meltzer.
But it wasn't Meltzer's. It wasn't his call. It was. Let me give you the name. John Molinaro. So, and this was written. I mean, this is the top 100 wrestlers of all time. So, I mean, it seems like a credible source. I'll leave it up to you. Yeah, after my guy Tyler Cooley. What's happening, bud?
What's up?
Who's next?
Carp.
Go ahead, Jerk.
Okay, well, pull up Mr. Wrestling's one more time, please. Just his. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with those accolades, except for one thing. Once again, it comes back to what I talked about at the top of the show, and that being one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing we're going to talk about in this tournament, is the legend, the lore. Now, Mr. Wrestling, especially to a lot of old school fans, is a very well-known name. But Blue Demon, once again, El Santo is the only one that people consider surpassing him. And both he and El Santo weren't just great in-ring rivals. They were great actors. These were celebrities among celebrities among celebrities almost. They were more than just masked wrestlers. And unlike El Santo, who took off his mask during his life in the public eye, Blue Demon never did. At his funeral, the mask was kept on. His adopted son, Blue Demon Jr., has never to this day revealed his true name. Blue Demon Jr.'s son is training and will be known as Blue Demon the Third. That legacy carries on.
Unmatched, bro.
And it is a legacy, once again, like Night Owls, unmatched, not just in Mexico, but in the world. And I have to say, that's why I think Blue Demon, that's my pick.
All right. Well, like I said, Rodell, you've got a golden ticket if you want Mr. Wrestling to move on. If not, the first half of the bracket has been, we've gone from 16 to 8. Let's move on to the next set of brackets and our next two competitors. This is a matchup I would love to see, and this is one of those put out there. Mystico versus Dragon Lee.
Oh,
damn.
So just so we're clear, that Mystico is the formerly known as Sin Cara, the original.
yeah.
Correct.
What iteration of all this are we going with here?
We're talking the original.
Okay.
I'm just going to say, this is just another one of those scenarios where I'm like, Dragon Lee could, but he's right in the middle of his shit. He hasn't had a chance to put together his entire resume. So for that reason, I don't know. I like Dragon Lee. I think first of all, he's speaking the English very well. That helps. Also, he's super talented and he's coming up around the right guys. But because El Místico has done so much all over the world, including be successful in the greatest promotion to ever exist in the world of professional wrestling, WWE, I got to go with Místico, a.k.a. Sin Cara.
Jay Wade, I know you're taking care of things and making sure that your vision is clear on this one. Who do you choose?
I'm getting that Dilbert look from Jay Wade right now. I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest, right? Yeah, that's right. I say you heard what I said.
Oh,
big-headed, bandana wearing son of a bitch.
Chiefs, baby.
Okay, so yeah, Chiefs suck.
Oh yeah,
anyway,
right.
So you're saying Mystico Sin Cara? Did you? He was the most successful the most successful company in the world. He sucked in WWE.
I got a lot of TV time. That's success, buddy.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Every other minute on television was a botch, or an injury.
Here.
Jay Wade's not wrong.
You're just making shit. What are you talking
Shit
about?
up.
He's a luchador. What do you think is going to happen when you're doing 360 splashes to the outside?
360 splashes? I don't give two shits about 360 splashes. Watch Rey Mysterio
That's what luchadors
Jr.
do.
Okay?
He doesn't do any
Watch
of that.
Will Ospreay.
Rey Mysterio doesn't do that shit.
Not anymore. He's a 50-year-old man.
Well, he was kind of stiff back in the day, too.
Okay, Jay Wade.
Before WWE was badass. I'd say Mystico all day long. But as soon as he entered WWE, get the hell out of here.
Well, he was old then. Come on, bro. You got to take in that account. He wasn't in his prime in the WWE. He was not in his prime in WWE.
Yeah, yes, he was. He left as Mr. Carp has something to say. Let Carp.
No, because this is my thing. Okay, well, first off, Wade, so are you going with Dragon Lee on this?
I'm gonna go with Dragon Lee.
That's absurd.
Okay, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm going with Dragon Lee too on this. Because let me tell you something. All right, so Sin Cara, Mystico, whatever the hell you want to call him, 46 years old right now. Okay,
yeah, he was in his prime in WWE. Wade
in 2011. That's almost
2011 is when he made his WWE debut. He may be in prime his age, but no. He was becoming more known for the gaffes and the miscues that he was doing on WWE television from the get-go. People were making fun of the trampoline that he jumped on to get into the ring. I'm sorry. I'm not saying he's not talented. And look, I get it. With Lucha Libre comes high risk. But guess what? It didn't pay off the way the ceiling was supposed to be up here for him. He ended up here in WWE. You're right, Renee. It's the greatest. It's the biggest company, most popular company, greatest company in the world. But at the end of the day, I consider his WWE tenure a flop to what it could have been. I'm going with Dragon Lee.
I'm not going to dispute that.
All right, Arsene.
Some of you guys are going to be really mad at me for my answer right now.
Not me.
I know what he's going to say.
Yeah, because this guy actually knows his history.
I'm picking Mystico.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it.
Thank you.
We're not
Thank
counting
you.
this WWE
I hate
run.
this
Mystical all day.
No, I am counting the WWE run because the back half of it he managed to salvage.
Yep.
He did something with the Lucha Bros, right?
By the way, they
Lucha
changed
House Party.
whoever was Sin Cara.
Yeah.
The real
Yeah, they changed out
Mystico
Sin
left,
Cara.
Yeah, that's not.
and
Wasn't
they changed whoever. There's two
it
Sin
was
Caras.
Hunico.
That's enough absurdity for me to appreciate it in wrestling.
All right, Rodell, we got it's 2-2.
God, if you could, like Justin said, if you could just take his CMLL stuff, Mystico would probably go through. But of the two, it would be Dragon Lee because if you're comparing WWE runs, your Mystico / Sin Cara was a botch machine.
Yes.
So
Well, right now
I'm going Dragon Lee, and that puts him over 3-2. But I mean,
we have golden tickets here, so that would be either Renee or Arsene. If you want to use it, you got the chance.
You have yours.
Nah, I'm saving mine.
Okay, I just want to say world champion at CMLL, world champion at NWA, world champion at MLW, and also I know the WWE stuff, that's fine, okay? But he had some success there and also success at AAA.
well,
Dragon Lee can take claim to none of that.
Hold on. Weren't you just the one that was back a couple saying that to compare Kane to whoever Kane was facing, Tiger Mask, and you're like the WWE stuff doesn't matter. He didn't do anything in WWE.
He didn't.
Right, that matters. But his career has continued beyond that.
Okay.
Dragon Lee's like in his 5th year. This is ridiculous that you guys would put a fifth year guy over somebody that's got almost 30 years in the business despite a couple of botches in WWE.
I will say this.
It's
Hang
ridiculous.
Hang on. I will say this. The prime Kane WWF run went from /WWE went from 97 to the beginning or mid of 2003.
Fair.
So 97, 98, 99, 2001, 2, 3. That's 7 years.
Shitty.
It wasn't until 2012 that he got his mask back on. So, I mean, as much as I wanted Kane to advance, I kind of get where Rodell is coming from on this one. But the reason why I think Kane's wasn't a failure because he was one of the biggest stars of the Attitude Era. And yes, his world title reign was only 24 hours, but he lost it to the biggest star in the company. What title reigns did Sin Cara have in WWE, and what impact did they have on anything, storyline, or memorable wise?
This is not a WWE barometer, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about holistically, beginning to the end of their career. Just real quick, let me pop quiz you hotshots. What significant world championships has Dragon Lee won?
NXT North American Championship, and that's close enough.
Recently, Mystico is where right now?
You need credit for just saying that off the top of the head.
I'm gonna throw it out here. ROH. I believe he was an ROH television champion, or was a heavyweight champion.
I thought it was television.
Didn't he beat Shane Sanders? Isn't that who he beat?
Shane Taylor.
Shane Taylor. Yep.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight.
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to spice it up and be controversial to give you guys thinking, because I think some of you guys are taking the easy answer, and I don't like it.
Well, guys, we're going to move right on here. I mean, I was throwing a lot of good information out there. The next two is going to be another one of those that people are going to be very surprised. Our first competitor in this next matchup is the Spoiler, taking on Delirious.
Oh, boy.
I'm super biased here. I'm not going to lie.
I'm very biased on this one.
Yo, huge mega ultra pause on this, but I'm taking the big D, Delirious.
All right, Arsene.
Shut up, Rodell. I said pause.
Renee just said he's taking the big D.
I said pause, you ball-headed bastard.
That's great. Our leader.
I'm not your leader, yo. If I'm your leader, you fucked up somewhere.
I'm following the popular vote. I'm going with Delirious. I'm with Renee.
Yeah, I have to just for as much as I don't want to. I think the spoiler had a bigger career, but yeah, I'm kind of going to go home on this one with Delirious.
Carp?
Okay, so let's be first off, I was gonna pick Delirious anyway. Second, if I even was going to pick the spoiler, I feel like Delirious would burst up down my door and just like kick my ass in a million different ways. So I'm just going Delirious regardless. Home bias, Dynamo bias, badass bias. That's all there is to it.
Jay Wade?
See, the problem is I'm going to choose Delirious as well because I've seen more of Delirious's work. I don't know what it is. It seems like a lot of these guys on here, they could, if we were, for the history of pro wrestling, all of us historians know more to visualize to see what the spoiler did. He has a lot of accolades, but I've never seen one damn thing he's done. And it sucks, but I'm going to have to go Delirious because I've seen more of his work.
All right, another 5.
By the way, the chat is going crazy right now. I don't know if y'all are paying attention to the chat.
Oh, we are.
The chat is going crazy. I said pause, Jimmy. Come on, man.
Big D and he don't mean. Oh my God.
Okay. I said pause. Y'all not listening.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So, hey, you Seattle guys don't know. Us Midwest people, we know.
St. Louis through.
I've
been there for 36 years. My wife made me move here.
We're going to move right back on to the focus of Wrestle Madness number 5 with the next two, and this is going to be another classic one. And let's go ahead and pull the next two up. We have the Grappler, former guest of the Wrestle Talk podcast, had an opportunity to talk with him at length, taking on El Connect.
By the way, the Grappler's book, written by John Cosper, one of the best reads out, right? Skywalker,
EatSleepWrestle.com.
Yep, EatSleepWrestle.com. You already know my pick, baby. I'm going with the Grappler. I read the book. John Cosper, shout out to you, man. Can't wait to have you back on the show.
Yeah, Grappler. Because like I said, I read the book too, and it's a really good book.
Amazing.
Arsene?
I'm going with Grappler.
Wade?
Yeah, Grappler. Like with this one, I don't know much of El Connect's work, and I feel uneducated because I guess we should all be more aware of it. Since we are wrestling fans, but there's so much shit out there.
That's a fact.
And Maestro.
Grappler. That's all there is to it.
All righty, we're going to move to the last bracket, or the last of the third bracket. And this one's going to be very interesting, too, because we have the first combatant being the Patriot.
Mel Wilkes.
Taking on the original Dr. Wagner.
Ooh, God. I'm gonna go last on this one, Skywalker. I'm gonna need a minute. This is a tough.
All right, we're gonna start off here with Arsene.
I gotta go with Dr. Wagner. It's like, I know it's the original and not Junior, but that still has to mean something when it comes to professional wrestling. It's like I'm a young blood, and I'm like, I don't care. The classics.
Rodell?
Dr. Wagner, it's not even close. The Patriot did shit compared to him.
Everyone knows Kurt Angle's theme because that's what it ended up being. They needed him because he was around.
Dr. Wagner.
Wade?
It's going to have to be Dr. Wagner. I appreciated the Patriots' work in WCW, but they certainly made him a tool when he was in the WWF in '97.
Okay, Renee, you said you wanted to go last.
I hate to say it, but I think all these gentlemen were wrong.
Make this case.
Okay, that's fine. Not wrong in your selection. Wrong in wow. Wade just disappeared. That's insane. No. No. You look beautiful, baby. Your goatee's almost as cute as mine. No, listen. What the mistake they made wasn't in who they selected; it's how they pronounced the person. It's Dr. Wagner. Wagner. Say it right, assholes. Dr. Wagner. It's Gunther. It's Gunther.
Walter.
Wait, don't make me drive to Seattle. It's
I would
Gunther.
love for you to.
You don't want that.
I would tell you.
I'm gonna show you what a real cigar tastes like, little buddy.
That Big D.
Shut up! I said pause, you prick.
Okay.
Yeah, see? The Wrestle Talk fam knows what's up. It's Gunther. Everybody knows. Go ahead, Skywalker.
Well, at this point, we now have 3 of our 4 brackets done.
Let's go.
We're now going to move on to number 4. The first one is going to be the Destroyer, a man known for years and years and years, one of the toughest men out of the New England area, taking on El Samurai.
The Destroyer.
Okay, we got the Maestro.
Destroyer.
Can you
Wade?
go back to the Samurai? Hold on. Before this gets out of control, go back to El Samurai's accomplishments, please. I just want you to observe the versatility, gentlemen. Gabe, IWGP. Gabe, IWGP 2-time heavyweight champ. I'm just letting you know because this goes really quickly. If people want to skip over El Samurai, I just want to say, make sure you know what you're talking about.
Okay, let's go back to hold up, Jay Wade. Back to you.
You said that he won the IWGP heavyweight, not junior heavyweight.
I'm sorry, junior heavyweight.
Okay, yeah, I'm still Destroyer.
Okay, Arsene.
It goes to the Destroyer. El Samurai is okay, and that's no offense to him, but the Destroyer is so much more known in Japanese wrestling history.
Yeah.
Rodell.
The beginning of Japanese wrestling history.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Riki Shoshi, right?
Yeah,
They believe that dude was a psycho back then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Destroyer just because he's got more accomplishments.
Night Owl.
I was just bullshit. I'm going with the Destroyer.
I'm just trying
to make this shit exciting. You motherfuckers are bland. I'm trying to make this shit exciting, man.
The next 2, this is another one of those that's going to be very interesting to the viewers of the Wrestle Talk podcast because on one side of the coin, you have Mil Mascaras.
Can't nobody beat this man.
The other side,
nobody.
The other side is the chairman, Laparca.
Oh shit!
I need a word with the board. This is some baby back bullshit right here.
Night Owl, you're going first too.
Laparca share shot.
Since you're fired up, Night Owl, you're going first.
I'm just afraid that there's going to be like a North American bias. Well, we saw him in WCW. I know that that's what's going to happen here. So I'm warning you, motherfuckers. If you don't do the right thing, I'm going to golden ticket the shit out of this. If you go with Laparca, because that's the name that you've seen the most recently, I swear to you, I'm going to be so mad with you guys. But the only answer to this question, as great as Laparca is, because Laparca gets a lot of credit for Laparca 2, and Laparca 2 gets a lot of credit. You know, you guys, everybody knows the whole thing with Laparcas, right? It's Mil Mascaras 1,000,000,000%. No question about it. If you know your shit, you know it's Mil Mascaras. Period. Point blank.
It's Mil Mascaras, and it isn't even close.
Thank you, Rodell.
Maestro.
Okay, I'm gonna say something here.
With this shit. I shouldn't have said nothing about Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
I did find it cool in WCW NWO Revenge for the N64 when Laparca would come out and he would come out with his steel chair. That being said, that's the only thing over Mil Mascaras I can give Laparca.
Thank you.
So let's face it, Mil is my vote.
Jay Wade.
No, it's gonna be Mil. And I know both from WCW. If you watch early WCW, Mil Mascaras in the early 90s, there's a classic match with him and Cactus Jack on Clash of Champions. He wouldn't take the elbow to the floor from Cactus. He moved out of the way.
Mil Mascaras.
All I'm going to say, gentlemen, is this. Hearing Jim Cornette's commentary of that matchup, kind of makes me feel like I was in the matchup. Our team?
I'm glad we all can appreciate Mil Mascaras. Just because I'm glad everybody mentioned every point in his career. I'm trying to remember. Does anyone know if was he in WWF where he went into the Rumble and he said,
Yes,
"Oh
he
no,
eliminated.
he
eliminated himself.
He said, "No, I'm not going to let you throw me out the ring." And then it's like, "Well, how are you going to eliminate yourself?" "I'm going to jump."
Yeah, from the top rope to
I'm
the
going to kill
outside.
myself. Dude, that's such a power play.
Lose my guy,
Oh my god. No.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on. We got 2 more matches in round number 1. The next matchup is going to be a complete clash of styles between our first competitor.
Gets harder after this.
Hold on. Mr. Wrestling 2.
Damn, look at that list.
Taking on Big Van
Vader.
Wade, we know your answer rather quickly.
Who said Vader? Jay Wade, I love it.
He wins the whole fucking thing.
No, that's my second favorite wrestler of all time.
All right, let's go with our scene.
It's Vader, bro. He's so scary. You know that story about his eye popping out and then he just against Stan Hansen?
Y'all getting lost in the nostalgia again. Man, I gotta reel y'all back in every time.
He's a
90 to
monster.
94. He was the Brock Lesnar before Brock Lesnar.
He's like the real life juggernaut. He kills every
Rodell.
It's Vader because he is one of the best big men in the business.
Let's go with the Night Out.
Hold on. Is Vader not on this list somewhere else, bro?
No.
Can we see stats one more time, pretty please?
He looks like a fossilized man.
All right, let me see the other one. Ooh. I'm just telling y'all, man. Look. WCW Hall of Fame. Yeah. Go ahead, Wade. I'm sorry.
The belts that Mr. Wrestling 2 won, he might have won a lot of them, but they were territorial belts, not like world belts.
Because even WCW was territorial, even if people don't want to acknowledge that. It really was. Yeah, I'm going to go with everybody else. I'm with Vader. Yeah.
All right, and Maestro.
Vader was Bam Bam Bigelow before Bam Bam Bigelow was Bam Bam Bigelow. Vader was the first agile, athletic, freak, super heavyweight. And he was one of the best to ever do it. Look, I'm going to say this. Go on YouTube, for those tuning in still, go on YouTube, look up some of his shit in Japan. It is unbelievable.
Sawa.
Some of the
Kobashi.
best wrestling.
Renee, I gotta drop the link. There's this super cool vaporwave edit to like footage of his matches in Japan. It's wicked. Like, you know how I do my promos as our scene? Right. It's such a wicked, like, you guys got to check it out.
So am I missing something, Because I've heard like Hogan, when he wrestled in Japan, he was like a completely different wrestler. Is that what this same thing is?
Yeah. Renee, can I get
geeky? A great Muda.
Can I get geeky for 5 seconds?
Well, it's your show, baby. Do what you want.
5 seconds. I thought that was
your inspired.
Pause. He said 50 for 5 seconds. I'm
Big D.
Shut up, Wade. I said pause.
He inspired this pro wrestling character in this anime that's coming up in like 2025. His name's Neptune Man, and it's like he's powered by the magnetic force of the movement of the earth. It's crazy. It's like he's got a lariat. That's friggin' Hulk Hogan. It's stupid.
I want to see it. Now I got to see
it. It's amazing.
All right. Well, as we're going through this, we're going to go to our last 2, and this is another one of those, much like I would say when you go back and you look at a matchup between a Mystico and a Dragon Lee. I think this last matchup in the first round is a very similar kind of standard here. On one side, you have Pentagon Jr. taking on Psychosis.
Oh no!
Okay. They're going to beat the hell out of one another. That's all I can say.
This will be a bloodbath.
And thank God Pentagon has taken his mask off, because Psychosis, as soon as he took his mask off,
you might have a golden ticket used by somebody in this group before.
Maestro, you're first.
Renee wants to talk to the board.
RC?
Okay, you're gonna have to put.
I can put word on the. I put word on the street. No, I'll be the one to say it. It goes to Pentagon.
All right, our scene going with Pentagon.
I love his work in Lucha Underground, especially in season 4. It may have been the least viewed season, but I still watched it and I loved it. He got
Rodell.
So sorry. So this is kind of I went back and forth when I was trying to pick my. I loved Penta. I think he's like one of the best wrestlers in the world, but I have to go with Psychosis.
Ooh, Jay Wade.
Psychosis for his matches alone with Rey Mysterio and ECW.
Maestro.
Okay. Yeah, put up the lists of their accomplishments, accolades, all once again. Okay. All right. So, this is my thing.
Look at those stats.
That's a lot of different when it comes to stats. But the thing of it is, as we've shown just by the last matchup alone, stats don't mean everything.
That's fact.
And let's face it, late 80s and then throughout the entire 90s and mid 2000s, if you were a fan of luchador wrestling and the lucha libre style, you damn well knew who Psychosis was. And you know what? I'm glad Wade said it because I was going to otherwise. But, you know, they talk about his WWE work and his WCW work. Man, watch his work in ECW. He put out some bangers in Extreme Championship Wrestling. Not just in 95, but even when he came back in 2000, he put in some really good matches. So for that, I got to go Psychosis.
All right, and Night Owl.
Are we 2-2 right now? Is that where we're at? Or are we
3-1?
We're 3-1.
Yeah, I guess at this point it's almost a moot point. Fact of the matter is, if we were at the end of Pentagon's career, I think there'd be a better argument to be made because that guy's still got a long way to go. He's phenomenal. Him and his brother are outstanding. But, you know, because of everything that Jay Wade and Maestro brought up in particular, I've got to go with Psychosis as well.
All right.
Pentagon, I think, has kind of slowed down since he's been in a tag team. In my opinion, his popularity and I just don't dig him right now. When he was doing single stuff, especially Lucha Underground, his didn't he have a last standing match with Vampiro?
Bro, that's one of the greatest wrestling matches of all time. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Phenomenal wrestling.
The story too.
Yes. But as soon as he started teaming him up in AEW,
shout out to Rodriguez, the movie director. He's like a Quentin Tarantino disciple. Richard Ramirez, I forgot what his name is. Produced the whole Lucha Underground thing, just killed it.
Well, gentlemen, we now have our entire first round done. And as we said earlier on, the remaining rounds are going to move much faster. But before we do, we're going to go ahead and take a quick opportunity here. Rodo, if you be so kind, I think you said that you had we have a couple of special announcements before we move on. We're going to take a quick break. But before we do, we got a couple of reminders here. We have graphics for them. I don't know if they're available or not. Do we have those available, Chris?
Give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, like I said, as Chris is bringing up those graphics, I want to go ahead and take a quick overview. The Luke Roberts perspective of round one, since I've been had to be impartial. Phoenix and Ultimate Dragon, I would agree with Dragon. Hayabusa and El Santo. Great Sasuke and Abyss, I would agree with Sasuke. Tiger Mask and Kane, I would agree with Tiger Mask. Second bracket, Liger, I would agree with Rey Mysterio. I would agree with Blue Demon. I would not agree with Octagon. I would have chosen Masked Superstar over Octagon. In the third bracket, I would have agreed with everyone, and I know I'm going to get flack for it. I would have agreed with everyone except the Grappler. I think I would have gone with El Connect. And in the last bracket, the only one I think I would have been different I could have seen Mr. Wrestling 2 with the $1 million knee lift taking Vader out of the first round. So, again, just want to give you an idea of how the opinions are different as we go here. And now what we're going to do, gentlemen, is simple. We know what's up. We know what's here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to look at both the round of 4 and then the round of 2 to determine who will be our final 4. So at this point, we know our broadcast colleague, Chris Rodell, will be back with us in just a minute. There's not going to be a lot of discussion here. We're just going to look at it and see what we have. The first matchup in round 2, Ultimo Dragon versus El Santo. Carp.
El Santo. I hate it.
Okay,
Ultimo Dragon sleeper, but I got to go on Santo.
Okay. Let's go with Renee.
Give me the lineup again. I got some messages coming in. Go ahead.
Ultimo Dragon versus El Santo.
El Santo.
Okay. Wait.
Dragon.
Okay. We'll go ahead and make a quick change here. Maestro.
Already said. Wait, which one?
Dragon versus Santo.
I said El Santo.
Yeah, I thought he said that.
Okay.
That was the first one.
Let's go with Rodell.
Dragon.
Ooh. And that means Arsene.
I got a sneaking suspicion Renee might be having to use his golden ticket right about now.
Okay.
I'm picking Ultimo Dragon.
Ooh.
Trying to force my hand, young man?
Arsene making it a 3-2
Is that what you're trying to
vote.
do? Is that what you're
I
trying to do?
aim to misbehave, sir.
Well,
at this point.
you've learned very, very well, but not well enough, young lad. This is too close to call, man. I'm going to go with the wrestling group too, believe it or not. That's fine.
All right. Well, at this point, Ultimo Dragon goes on. We're going to go to the other half of the bracket. Great Sasuke and Tiger Mask. Let's go with Jay Wade.
Great Sasuke. It's going to be a hard-hitting bout. They're going to beat the hell out of each other in the end. Sasuke's going to pull through.
All right. Arsene.
I got to give it to Tiger Mask.
All right. Let's go with the Night Owl.
You know what? This is a tough one because you talk about legends on equal playing field, but I got to go with Sasuke, fellas.
Rodell.
Sasuke.
And Maestro.
Sasuke.
All right. We are now into the final match of the first bracket, and that is Ultimo Dragon versus Great Sasuke.
Wait a minute.
Give you a second.
Wait a minute. Did El Santo not beat Ultimate Dragon?
No. Dragon won 3-2.
Pay attention, Carp.
Which is kind of insane, but
wait a minute. I had a massive brain fart at that moment. Wait a second. Oh shit.
Yeah, I something in my heart tells me that it should have been El Santo, but I wasn't going to use my golden ticket, unfortunately.
All right. Let's go ahead here. Rodell.
Dragon or Sasuke? Dragon.
Okay, Rodell goes with Sasuke.
No, I said Dragon.
Oh, Dragon. Sorry, I can't type today. Let's go with Arsene.
Fixed.
We're at number 5, and we're still making as many mistakes on camera. It's the human element, you know. No, I gotta go with Dragon again. I'm still on this. I'm riding this train out.
All right, Maestro.
It's the guilt of not picking El Santo. It's bugging you.
It's the guilt of not using a golden ticket is settling. Let me tell you something. Oh, I'm just gonna go with Ultimo Dragon. I said he was gonna be a sleeper in the beginning of this whole damn tournament. You can see why. So I'm going Ultimo Dragon.
Renee?
This is a toughie, but I'm going to be a bit of a homer, man. If he got past El Santo, then he's definitely got to be better than the great Sasuke. So I'm going with Ultimo.
And Jay Wade.
If anyone can take the television title off of Steven Regal, you got to respect in my book, Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon with a 5-0 win. Moving on to the final four in our Wrestle Madness 5. Moving on to the next bracket. Hold on one moment here. I got to fix my typing here. Okay, match number 1 is Jushin Liger taking on Octagon.
Liger.
Okay.
It's Liger. It's not even close.
Yeah, it's not.
He's like a thunder god in bio armor. It's crazy. That's like his anime backstory. It's the greatest anime ever made.
Renee?
The fact that Octagon is still in this competition and that Santo is out. Skywalker, I'm going to need a meeting with the board.
But we have this happen every Wrestle Madness.
So, yeah, Gilbert in particular, right, Carb? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Over Owen Hart.
Such bullshit. I mean, you know my answer, bro. The legend is the legend, and the other guy is the other guy. You know
my ass.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on to the other half, that being Rey Mysterio and Blue Demon.
It's Rey Mysterio, and it's not even close.
It has to be Rey Mysterio. I'm sorry. That's gonna suck.
Arsene?
But
it's not Blue Demon Jr. And I feel like I gotta throw it more to him. So I gotta say Rey Mysterio.
Renee?
619, baby.
I'm going to tell you right now, it was a 5-0 decision, but if I would have had voting privileges, I would have used my ticket for Blue Demon.
No one gives a shit.
Hey, that's a Hall of Famer you're talking to.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
It's also a member of the board.
That's true. Okay, now we have to look. Now we have to look at the finals of this bracket. Liger Mysterio.
Okay, I have a problem with the board on this one. I have a problem with the board. Why the hell would you put these two in the same bracket?
Yeah, ought to be opposite sides.
Why are these not number one seeds in both brackets?
Because wait. Can I interrupt? I got a message from the board. The board says, "Next time you lazy bastards can put this shit together yourselves, I quit."
Okay, moving right along here. Liger Mysterio. Jay Wade.
So, in 96, it was Liger and Mysterio at Starrcade 96, and Liger whooped his ass. Liger.
Night Out.
I don't know if that was Prime Ray though. Wade, was that Prime Ray?
Yeah, that was his. He was like,
that was Prime Ray Mysterio. Or are you delusional?
I would say, don't you ever call me delirious, little man.
I said delusional, not delirious.
Anyways, he's coming off of, I believe, 2 cruiserweight championships in WCW. He toured Japan. He already came from ECW when he was in WCW, so he has some tenure under his belt. He's not. I prefer WCW Ray compared to WWE Ray. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Liger versus Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Jushin Thunder Liger, man. I'm sorry. I got it. I can't. It's Jushin, man.
Liger's a wrestling god, so I mean it's Liger all the way.
Maestro?
Liger.
And Arsene.
It's too close to Rey Mysterio not being done for me to say Liger. It's when we can look back at him as the legend of Rey Mysterio, then maybe. But he's not a wrestling god yet. But it goes to Liger.
That's what I'm saying. He's still active.
And okay, before we go on, I'm just going to let you know too. And Carp, Rodell, I know what it is. you're wanting a raise again. I know what it is, Rodell.
No, it's because Liger really truly is a wrestling god.
Right.
I want to go to MLW again.
Plus he went before me. So
If
Yeah.
El Santo was
All
out,
right.
and Blue Demon's out, the next top tier for godhood in wrestling is Jushin Thunder Liger.
All right. I'm going to tell you this next bracket is definitely going to have some question marks. First match, Dragon Lee versus Delirious.
Oh no. Oh hell.
How the hell did we get here?
This is the most random one of that
Well,
we
we go
probably
around. Oh, we're
Yeah, like-
Dragon Lee defeated
We're like,
Mystico.
what time-
Delirious defeated the Spoiler.
and then we go on to the next round, and in that round we pick someone, and now we're here.
I blame
So-
all of you. I blame all of you for this.
We invited
You guys all went against me, and now you're regretting it. That's fine.
What butterfly?
I'm
man.
not
Come on.
regretting doing Dragon Lee or
Our-
Delirious. But it's just funny.
Told y'all, this is
All right,
crazy.
gentlemen. We're going to start off. Arsene, you're going first.
Oh gosh.
Just put him out of his misery. Dragon Lee.
Don't you
Okay.
ever talk about Delirious.
Like a request.
Night Owl?
Never do it again. I'm going with Delirious. I don't give a shit. I'm crazy. I'm biased. Suck it,
Maestro?
Arsene.
Oh,
off the round.
I'm so biased on this
Carp,
one. This ain't
Carp,
even
you got it.
funny.
You're gonna have to meet some people. I'm just letting you know. Be smart.
Oh god.
You're gonna be at the Hall of Fame
One
in
way or another, there's
2025.
gonna be
Don't
some
forget.
next people pissed off at me.
Yeah, but
But
one of
I'm
them doesn't speak the same language as you. He's never gonna find out.
No. I am going with Delirious.
K Wade
Delirious.
and Rodell.
I
You're good,
mean,
man.
it has to be of these two. It's Delirious. I mean, maybe I should have picked Mystico. I don't know. Maybe I should.
No, you shouldn't have. No.
Well,
No.
the other one is going to throw the
Delirious
complete.
would've won.
The other one's going to throw the complete different bracket here. Grappler and Dr. Wagner.
Wagner.
Grappler.
Grappler.
Wade.
Grappler.
Renee.
Wagner.
Carp.
Dr. Wagner.
Arsene.
It's up the game.
The Grappler or Dr. Wagner.
Call me biased. It's Dr. Wagner.
Wagner.
And now the match that intrigues me very much. Delirious and Dr. Wagner.
That would be an incredible match.
Really good match.
Can you guys imagine?
Hmm? Let's go with Renee.
Why you gotta do this to me, Skywalker? I ain't got time for this shit, man. I just, and I know we've gone into a lot of detail with guys, but when your character is someone that can't actually be understood, and you get that shit over, and they make you the booker of ROH, that's something. That's something and a half. That's something in a bag of chips. I know it's gonna sound biased as shit or whatever. I'm not from St. Louis, so I don't really give a damn. But I gotta go with Delirious, man. We had a chance to interview this dude, and it's probably one of the greatest interviews that I've ever done in my life because I could only understand 1 out of every 10 words. But it was still, I mean, like I said, I'm biased, but this also is an unbiased decision. I'm going with Delirious, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta do it.
Arsene.
Some of y'all are gonna be really upset with me because I'm going against Delirious yet again.
Man, why are you doing this to me, man? I mean,
Yeah, this is not fair.
Because I
Rodell?
aim to misbehave, sir.
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about how do we get to Dr. Wagner versus Delirious here?
Rey Mysterio's out. Santo is out.
I am here to kick ass and chew bubblegum,
We
and
should've
I am
used our
all
golden
out of
tickets. We
bubblegum.
fucked up. They mad at you,
Hey.
babe.
Rodell.
How the hell did we?
It's crazy.
I mean, I've got to say Delirious, but that puts him in the final four. I mean,
well, not necessarily, not yet.
Not yet.
Jay Wade?
Hilarious.
And Maestro.
Jay Wade hit.
All right, so what are we at right now?
3-1.
Oh hell.
You don't have to die on this show.
You can't walk back into a St. Louis show, bro, if you don't pick Delirious right now. You better know this.
Well, to be fair, there's already probably a promotion or two that I can barely walk into.
That's
anyway.
fair, and I respect that about you. I like that.
I will go. I will go with Delirious.
All right. We'll move on
I
to
was
the
laughing
final.
about the Big D earlier, wasn't y'all? Y'all was laughing
We
about
have the
Big D
final
earlier.
four, and there's still 5 golden tickets.
Yep.
And
Here are the last two. Actually, the last 3 matches that are eligible: Destroyer and Mil Mascaras.
it's Mil Mascaras, and it's not even close.
Wade.
Oh, Mil Mascaras.
Arsene.
It's gotta be Mil Mascaras.
Night Owl.
Let the record show that after 10 o'clock Eastern time, Arsene is a completely different person. I don't know what the hell happened to this guy.
Sherm's kicked in.
This dude turned into
Sorry.
James Dean after 10 p.m. It's incredible. All right, here we go.
I have to go to bed.
That's my answer. Stop crying.
And Maestro.
It's Mil.
The other half of the bracket: Vader versus Psychosis.
Vader.
Rodell.
Vader wins it all.
Road dog.
Rodell.
It's on you, big
Oh,
homie.
my bad. Sorry, I was on mute. Vader.
Renee.
I guess Vader's a 5-0.
Which leads to the final matchup into the final four: Mascaras versus Vader.
Vader.
It's Mil. If we're talking about truly the best mask wrestler, it's Mil. It's Mil
I love
Mascaras.
Vader too. But
I love Vader. He's the best, one of the best big men. But if you're talking about
they
mask
cut his
wrestler,
career short too, bro. That's fucked
Mass
up. They
wrestler,
cut his shit short.
Okay. It's
It's
1-1. 2-1. Arsene.
That's so difficult though, because you're right. It's like I like Vader as a mass wrestler, but
Gotta respect.
His mask isn't much of a mask. The Mascaras, it's like mask is in his name.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So Arsene
Yeah, Mil Mascaras.
and Maestro.
So what are we at?
It's 3-1 Mascaras.
Oh man. Just for the record, we don't get to take our golden tickets to Wrestle Maddness 6, right?
no,
Correct.
but I mean, honestly, at this point, do you need to use it?
Only if he wants to be controversial. We all know what the right answer is here. Stop playing.
Yeah, I really want Vader to make it, and I kind of just want to piss all you off for the hell of it. But fuck it,
You gotta do the right thing. I agree with you. I like controversy too, but
Hey, Luke,
can't.
Yep.
We got Ray out and Santo out. We can't.
can I use my golden ticket?
Too late.
For
He already
Vader?
made his choice.
Yes, you may.
He already made his choice. It's too late.
Well, it's the idea is where, in the case of what's here,
I say it's applicable. Yeah.
it's applicable because he was the only one that was a Vader choice.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to step up and use their golden ticket against him?
No.
I say the
Either
golden,
way is fine, but
the golden ticket is the ace up your sleeve. So it's like, are you going to use it in this hand? Yes.
Well, he knows he's gonna get countered, so I don't.
Well,
think
Maestro,
Wait, what?
Wade used his golden ticket.
So Vader wins.
So at this point, Vader has moved on.
how do you know this? He didn't say it. Did he message you?
No, Wade already said it.
we already said it.
All right. So let's look at the final four.
So what's our final four?
Ultimo Dragon versus Jushin Liger.
Which is the next one?
Which is Rodell.
Wait. So Wade used his ticket?
Yes.
Yes.
Officially.
But wait.
Yes.
I'm trying to hear what this other matchup. It's Delirious versus Vader.
Yep.
No. Wait a minute. We jumped to. I didn't hear Wade. No, bro. I'm not letting him do that. If he's using his, I'm using mine.
Oh,
I'm not letting him put Vader through over Mil
that's a factor.
Well, how does this work?
We can run it back.
We're not gonna make a sham. We're not gonna make a sham.
How does this work?
We've been here for 3 hours. We're
My
not
guy
gonna
goes
make a sham of
through.
this. We're not gonna do it.
You
We
can't
already got
trump
rid of
that.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
We got rid of
At
Ray.
this point-
We got rid of El Santo.
Yep.
And in the overall vote, you know who moves on. Thank you.
Vader.
So at this
Don't
point, at this point in time, let's go back to where we're at. Ultimo Dragon, Jushin Liger.
Okay.
Arsene.
We can put a cap on that. Look, I committed to this since the last Wrestle Madness we've done. So we got Liger all the way to the finals in that one. So I plan on doing the same right now.
Maestro.
Okay. Hang on here.
Are you trumping my card, bro?
No.
I feel like I'm being brushed out. Not you, Skywalker. I'm trying
Right,
to trump
I'm
Jay
saying
Wade's
that.
card, and he keeps ignoring me, and I don't like it.
No,
So hang on.
it's been dealt with.
Hang
Okay,
on.
you gotta say it though. I didn't hear Wade. I didn't hear what you said.
It was like I said, it was done. Yours was there. You countered. There you are.
Okay.
Counter. My guy should move on.
He said that at the beginning that you can trump a card.
Yes,
with another
I did.
card.
You go back to the beginning of the show.
He did say that. He
And
Maestro.
to really trump it.
What the fuck are you talking about? He's in
That
St.
means it's gonna
Louis. He
grab
got nothing
it.
to do with Kansas City, bro.
Well, as the Kansas City, as this discussion's going on, Maestro.
Okay. Jushin Thunder Liger or Ultimate Dragon. You know what? I'm really still fucking pissed at you guys for letting El Santo lose, and I'm pissed at myself for not paying attention enough.
I voted for
not
him.
use my golden ticket there.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
But
I know you $5 if you golden ticket Vader back in.
yeah, quick question: can we do like a
We've already passed the whole Vader.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Skywalker.
Hold on.
Skywalker. Wait. Let me say something before you jump in. So I'm not in control of this thing. This is your thing. But I think we should be able to pause right here and go, is there somebody that got screwed beyond being screwed that we should be able to plug back in?
No.
Because, bro, come on. Rey Mysterio and El Santo are not in the Final Four. Bro, it's like having Ric Flair not in the Final Four of the greatest wrestler of all time. It's like it's just semantics of the categories and the way that they're set up and the brackets that made this happen, bro. There's no way that Rey Mysterio and El Santo shouldn't be in the Final 8 or the Final 4. That's crazy.
Well, it's one of those where the random, and again, it goes back to the wonderful thing called the Wrestle Talk Podcast Randomizer.
Oh,
Maestro.
all right? You know what?
It is what it is.
Oh, does.
And you
Luke
said
Roberts,
we can't use a
everybody.
golden ticket to send someone to
Nope,
the final.
not the Final Four.
God damn it! All right, well,
It's too late.
it's too late.
Dragon or Liger?
All right, you know what? I'm going Liger. It's my choice.
Renee?
If any of you say Ultimo Dragon, I will find you.
Jushin.
Wade?
My choice won't get Trump, will it?
No.
Liger.
Too late.
Rodell?
It's Liger.
Rodell?
It's Liger.
It's Liger, he said.
Liger?
Yeah, Liger.
All right, last one. Delirious and Mascaras. Wade?
How did we get here?
Because you screwed El Santo.
I got
That's
Trump.
why, smart guy.
I
That's
got
why.
Trump.
You're saying you want the Delirious versus El
Wade?
Santo.
Mascaras.
It's Mascaras.
Renee? Arsene?
Renee's gonna say Delirious. I
No,
bet you.
Nope.
He's already used his golden ticket, so he's already
Yeah,
said
I
no, he's already said Mil Mascaras. That's what the MM is.
So
I pushed my agenda far enough. I did well tonight.
Yep.
Mascaras.
And Maestro?
So we're doing Mascaras versus Delirious.
Yep.
You are shitting me right now. This,
Rodell threw away his notes.
Out of the paper.
Well, no, I mean, there's not much left to go on. So,
Yep.
I mean,
Just throw it out.
This final is going to be interesting. Very, very, very entertaining and interesting.
This tournament is a jam.
Legitimate, like, holy shit, god tier of Mass Wrestlers finals.
Yes.
I'm putting Mill in there.
Jushin Liger versus Mil Mascaras.
Yes, exactly. Because if it's Delirious in the finals,
Arsene.
Jesus Christ.
I am about to cause some controversy. I'm using my golden ticket.
You can't use it in the Final Four.
I can't?
Nope.
Lame. Oh my god.
Hold on, wait a minute. Lame. That means you decide the whole thing. That's not lame. That's fair.
That's the point.
Arsene?
But I feel like there should be a counter game to it. Save it for
I could have done that earlier.
Like if I the last one, you can counter if you're like no. Just
oh my god,
Arsene.
You can't win, but you can use
Liger or Mascaras.
I'm going with Liger.
He's belaboring the point. It's a hard one.
Renee?
No, I can't go next. I can't. I'm not ready.
Okay, Rudell.
Jushin Thunder Liger.
Maestro?
Okay, so to make sure we're clear here, and there's no stupid bullshit ass randos in this or any weird things that someone's pulling out of the board's ass. It is Mil Mascaras versus Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yes.
Correct.
That'd be a great match.
Okay. Because if I hear if it's like Tiger Mask the 1/8.
Oh my god, just answer the fucking question.
Chris got to go to work tomorrow, bro.
So do I. Okay, fine. It's Jushin Thunder Liger is my pick, and he's the deserved one, if not El Santo.
Wade.
Liger.
And Night Out.
I can't let it be a sweep. This is truly the ultimate toss-up of all time. Like, you flip a coin on any given day, I don't know who I'm going to pick, but I can't let it be a sweep. I got to represent, so I'm going with Mill.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Wrestle Maddness 5, the one, the only Jushin Thunder Liger.
And you know, the biggest thing, if you look right at the top of that, guys, CMLL Universal Champion. So he was respected in Japan just as much as he was respected in Mexico, just as much as he was respected when he was fighting Tyler in NXT. Dude, yeah. Jushin Thunder Liger's the man. I'm not mad about that result.
Countries as Kane did.
Sounds like a character from He-Man.
Yeah, well, we all got to start putting together our emails to the board because we've got our beef. But
well, you know, guys, I have to give a shout out here. Thank you to everybody who's stayed with us here tonight. Again, this is totally at random. I mean, again, I want to thank the committee who put this together. They worked very hard for the better part of about 4 or 5 days putting this all together. Again, I want to give a shout out to the Wrestle Talk podcast, and especially to the Night Owl and all of our broadcast colleagues for the big surprise earlier on this evening. Still kind of trying to wrap my brain around that one. And like I said, I want to say thank you again to the board of directors of the Independent St. Louis Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. I want to say thank you to everybody who's ever been a part of an event I've been at, wrestlers and fans alike. And I think that's pretty much what we got here, guys. Before we go, let's go ahead and bring up for our sponsors, without who the Wrestle Talk podcast does not exist. So let's go ahead and bring those up one more time. Want to thank Royal Mills Transportation with CEO Dewan Mills. Joined us earlier this evening. If you need a ride in Kansas City, check out Royal Mills Transportation. Nobleman's Barber Lounge, Kansas City. Want a great haircut? Go check them out at Nobleman's. Kincaid Arcade at the Oak Park Mall. Interstate 70 Sports Media, where you can catch our good friend, the Maestro Jeremy Karp, with Roundabout Sports every Wednesday evening. Little Popeye Designs, home of those great Wrestle Talk podcast tumblers, and of course the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group, which Night Owl, correct me if I'm wrong, catch Thursday night at 7:30?
Yeah, Thursday night. And as a matter of fact, there's something I wanted to show you guys before we get out of here. So I walked into my office, the FWWC offices, and I kind of saw this sitting here. Gabe, if you could do me a favor and have somebody screen record this and then immediately share it to the FWWC, I think that's super duper important. I'll give you a second to set that up. That's fine. What I wanted to share, and he'll be getting this recorded here in just a moment, is that the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion, one of our fantastic sponsors, they've been with us basically from the very beginning of Wrestle Talk podcast. That's right. The FWWC has been with the Wrestle Talk podcast for nearly 500 episodes. We're moving into episode 490, and I can't tell you how proud I am of the partnership that myself, El Mataratas, the CEO, Dewan Mills, and everybody else has been involved in making this group the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. But more importantly, I found this sitting on my desk in the FWWC offices, and I was hesitant to open it, but I figured the right thing to do would be to open this up here in front of the not only Wrestle Talk podcast family, but also the FWWC universe. Hopefully you guys get a chance to see this. By the way, this episode is absolute fire. If you guys haven't watched the whole episode, make sure you do. It's a long one, but it's absolutely worth it. Shout out to Jushin Thunder Liger for being declared the greatest mass wrestler of all time by your friends here at the Wrestle Talk podcast. Nothing but full-hearted, dedicated wrestling fans here on the Wrestle Talk podcast family. So just very quickly here, in this briefcase, one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. I think this is a dead rat and a scroll.
You okay now?
No, well, listen, I've got to process this. This is unprecedented. I know exactly what the scroll means. This, I have no idea what this is all about, but if you want to know what the contents of the scroll are, it pertains to our prestigious FWWC Battle for the Briefcase pay-per-view coming up this Saturday, only on the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. You can find our X Communities page on X, or request to join the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion on Facebook. But if you want to know what the contents of the scroll are, this is shattering and life-changing news for certain members of the FWWC. So if you want to know exactly what that scroll contains, I want to encourage everybody to take a moment and check out the latest edition of the FWWC Tonight, coming up this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time on all of our social media platforms. Again, that's the world's premier fantasy wrestling group, the FWWC, the Fantasy Wrestling Worldwide Chapter, guys, this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you guys lock in. I thought we had an amazing card going into Battle for the Briefcase this Saturday. I think the game is about to change, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to leave it at that. Sorry for the interruption. I just want to make sure I got that out of the way, because that is huge, huge news. And the fact that I found this, I'm telling you, it's going to be a game changer for everybody in the world's premiere. That's all I got to say. Let's move on.
Well, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, from top to bottom, a great night here. We got Hall of Fame announcements, exclusive Hall of Fame announcements. We got talking about the upcoming Saturday event. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we've got all of our brothers here at the Wrestle Talk podcast. Again, shout out to everybody who's been tuning in tonight. Before we get going here this evening, Night Owl, and it's something we haven't had a chance to do in a while, but I want to go ahead and throw things over to our broadcast colleague, Jeremy Karp, because Jeremy, many shows ago, back in the days of the Jeremy Karp Show, back into Roundabout Sports, you always make it a point, and one of the things I've always admired about you is the idea that you focus on making very noticeable reference regarding mental health and things along the line. And we've kind of added that very regularly to the Wrestle Talk podcast since you've joined the program. I want to go ahead and turn things over to you before we wrap things up today to kind of remind our viewers of such an important message.
Yes, folks. Thank you, Luke. And it is absolutely true that mental health issues are real. They are a real issue. People struggle with them every day. We all go through things such as anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. Understand, though, that you do not have to travel the world of struggles alone. There is help out there. For the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, you dial 988. The line is open 24/7, 365. 366 on leap years. Understand you're never alone in this world. There is always somebody out there who is willing to listen and be there for you and help you. You are just a phone call, a text message, an email away. And you could also be the listening ears for somebody else who could be struggling as well. We were all put on this earth for a reason. We all have a purpose to live a long, healthy, fulfilling life. And the road of struggle should never be traveled alone. Understand you are so loved, and it's always a pleasure to be able to wake up and see another blessed day.
Very true, Maestro. Very true indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw, Wrestle Maddness 5 is officially in the books. Episode 489 is in the books. Guys, as crazy as it sounds, we're single digits to Wrestle Talk 500. And make sure to check out all of our social media for more information. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Road Dogg, for the Maestro, for Jay Wade, for Arsene, for the Night Owl, for Luke Roberts, for DeJuan Mills, the CEO, for Perry Hartman, for our guest earlier this evening, big time Jimmy Harris, and for all those that have helped to make the Wrestle Talk podcast go each and every week. I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. Tune in next Tuesday night at 8:05 p.m. on the East Coast, 7:05 Central, for the best in local, national, and international wrestling, the Wrestle Talk podcast. Take care. We'll see you next week.